Yo, what's up, guys? We are live, baby. Man, a lot has come out this week, huh, guys? 30th celebrations, all the products. It seems like, I'm going to wait till people join in here. We have a lot to talk about. My perspective, my at least point of view, what I think is happening right now, what I think has been happening throughout the whole last, I would say, year in preparation for the 30th anniversary. Um, it's just speculation, I guess you could say. I don't have any uh inside information with Pokemon, but uh I'm just putting two and two together. We'll see what happens though. Let me just share this to the Discord, of course. Let's go. We are live. Let's see. There's something here that I did want to share. Where'd that go? Oh, is that picture gone? I'll find it again if anything. There's something I wanted to show. Um, it is what it is. We'll find it. I'll find it right now, actually. Just go straight to the page because I know I'm following them, I'm pretty sure, in preparation. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing today? It is Thursday night. Um, I'm off tomorrow. They're recognizing my July 4th tomorrow, so I get the day off, which I'm so excited about. I'm glad that I just have another day off, another paid day off, which is always amazing. Not many people can say that. Roxy, what is going on, bro? What's up, man? Welcome to the stream, man. Thank you for stopping by. Karma, I'm your number zero fan. Karma does not like that I said Michael Jordan is the GOAT over LeBron. He doesn't like it. But what are we gonna do, right? You can't compare eras. You can't compare the flopping era that LeBron created in comparison to the hardball era that Michael Jordan played in. Like Michael Jordan played in an era where you could get elbowed and not get a flag thrown. Like, I mean, not a flag, sorry, not them not call a technical. Like it was so much of a different game back then. That's why it's also was so hard to compare because the games were played totally different. Not everybody was shooting three pointers like they are now. Um, the game was played totally. The big man was actually a big man. He wasn't trying to shoot threes. He was a powerhouse in the paint. The game was a lot more physical back then, and it's not that same case today. So sorry about that, Karma, but it is what it is, man. Sorry. Here to support, not home, so can't stay the whole time. Unfortunately, it's all good, man. It's all good, bro. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, you're having a good night. Maybe you're hanging out. Maybe you're getting something to eat. Hopefully, you're having a good night, though. LeBron his ass. Listen, man. All I can say is this: Jordan didn't have to run to a team, to a super team to win. He didn't have to run to a team to get something put together. He didn't have to hop around from team to team. He didn't have to do that. And LeBron clearly couldn't do it by himself, or at least even the team that he came up with. If that's the case, because I'm not saying Jordan had a bad team, but he didn't have to run to a different team. It is what it is. Doing pretty good, Jay. Been good on vacation. Nice. Nice. Been a good vacation week. That's what's up. That's always great to have, man. You always need that downtime, that time where you can relax. Um, we need to decompress at times. No hand checks, no coats. I loved your cartoon video. Nice. I'm glad you liked it. I didn't know. So, of course, people subscribe to my channel for investing purposes, right? So I didn't know if people would actually like that video. But I think it's cool to see like what's actually going on out there as opposed to just people talking here on the internet saying that it's a slowdown, that everything's slow. Like, yes, sealed is slower. Yes, it is, right? People are on vacation and it's okay. On top of the fact that a lot of there's been a lot of appreciation in sets. There aren't many affordable sets out there. There's nothing close to MSRP whatsoever. Even Perfect Order is probably at like 210, 220 right now. So it's just it makes sense. Just everything combined, the vacation, family time, people spending money on other things, and then everything is just that much more expensive. So I mean, Pitch Black is pre-ordering right now for 300 on TCG Player. Not that it's going to stay. I talk about that all the time. It's not going to stay at 300. Those are just inflated prices that we constantly see on TCG Player for pre-orders. But you know, it's a thing. I don't know, man. What's really catching my attention is that we haven't had pre-order prices at that price point at $300. So now when it releases and it settles, what is it gonna settle to? I think the highest point Chaos Rising was at, and it was actually really early on. The closer we got to the release date, the more it dropped. It's kind of the opposite right now for Pitch Black. It's been rising. So it's just the time we're in plus vacation. There's a lot going on. So it all makes sense, all of it together, but I just wanted to, show the card show what it was really like in person because it's kind of crazy. I think, isn't it not this weekend, the next weekend, the 11th and the 12th is going to be New Jersey Collecticon. I'm expecting to go, sometimes, things fall through. Sorry, you make plans and things don't work out. I am hoping to go. As of right now, that's what's on the schedule. I really want to go. And hopefully, not hopefully, if I go, I will record over there as well. But if well, we'll just see, I don't know what I want to do. I would like to record and show it, another video again, but I don't know if people like it. It's good to hear the positive feedback that people liked it. I think it's fun. I do want to talk about investing on my channel. I talk about investing all the time on my channel. We're going to talk investing during this live, right? But at the same time, this is just a portion of the hobby. And I really think that we should be looking at all aspects of it, just all parts of the hobby, whether it be investing, whether it be vending, the card shows, whether it be what stores are doing, how they're receiving allocations, right? That matters to our Pokemon investing, right? The allocations, how they're selling, what's moving, what's not. All of it matters. And I think we should be just looking into all of aspects of the hobby right now. Jordan competition was asked. Oh man, played against all that makes no difference. So you're telling me the way that LeBron drives and people first off move out of the way, and if they tap him, it's an automatic foul. If he bumps them, it's a foul. If he does this flop thing, it's a foul. Back then, he would actually get hurt driving into the paint. Like he would think twice before driving in for a third time, regardless of how big he is. It pain is pain. That's the way the game was played back then. I was going to bed, and now I can't. Thanks, Jay. Deals. I'm sorry, bro. I'm glad you're here, though. Thank you, man. Thank you. Jordan didn't play against the Spurs. That's fine. It doesn't change that Jordan is the GOAT, man. It doesn't. Lion Tails, what's going on, bro? What is up, man? Welcome. All right, guys. So let's first off, I did want to talk about something that like I guess I was putting together in my head. You know, we have been thinking about all these like reasons as to why Pokemon didn't like print in the last year aside from Prismatic. And I'm honestly thinking that it's because of the 30th. Not, and I know some people are probably like, maybe they think that that's obvious, but it's not. The fact that they revealed like 10 different freaking products, guys. 10 different products, all the different promos, all those different cards. There's so much getting put into it. Like there's so much time and space that's going to get consumed or that has been consumed in the last year to create all of these things, all of these promos, all of these different ancillary products. It's so crazy, and this whole time we've been wondering why. And I've been telling my fiance for some time now that I think Pokemon wants it this way because they want the celebration to be a success. They want it to be such a bang that it's remembered during the 40th. Like, if I had a business my sole focus in this year, if it was the 30th anniversary, would be to make it a success. I would focus on nothing else but this anniversary right here. And I think that's where Pokemon is really at. It just makes sense from a business standpoint. It would make sense to um, not let all the air out of the balloon by reprinting all these other products and just diminishing demand. I think keeping demand like that, keeping everybody hungry and wanting more is where any business would want their customers to be during their anniversary. Everybody wants it to be a success. It just makes all the sense in the world. And they're also they're doing a good job. Like as much as like I really want Delta Rain, right? Like I want to see the Rayquaza set more than anything right now. I want to see what that card is like. I can't wait for it to get really um previewed or just somebody leak it or something like that. I can't wait, right? But the more and more we're thinking about that Rayquaza set, the more and more the 30th just keeps coming up, keeps getting pushed in our face, and it looks good, guys. Like even these cards, did you guys see these cards by any chance? I know we're talking about basketball in the chat, but did you guys let me know, did you guys see what these Espeon and Umbreon promos look like? Did you guys see the texture? Did you guys actually see it? Forget the digital image. Did you see the physical card? For that, for the the Mewtwo one, and I did not like those Mew and Mewtwo cards. And guys, they actually look good. Did you guys see them? Yeah, and that says, yeah, they're cool. Bro, these cards look amazing. And the way that I'm gonna show it to you guys. I just want to know if you guys saw them or not. Howdy, what's up, Snack? Howdy, I totally agree with your statement. We are cooked. We are cooked. I think you know whether it's true or not, it seems like one of these stores was brought to my attention by one of the guys in the Discord. Thank you, Odyssey. um Already saying that they're not getting much during for their allocations. They're getting like 5% allocated to them from what they wanted, I guess. um and hopefully, I wish that's not true. I really hope that's not true. So you haven't seen them, just around. Okay, watch this. They look good, man. Oh my god, they look so good. Not gonna lie, man. These are them. Here, let's get rid of this volume. Do you look at that texture? Is there like a yeah 480p? What is that? That's it. That's the best. Okay, I guess that's the best. Look at the texture. Look at how it's actually coming from the sun. Or was that the sun there? I don't know. It looks like it's coming down from the sun, and then this one is coming down from the 30th logo. Look at how the texture is coming down. This looks amazing, guys. This looks so freaking good. Yeah, communist phone plan. I don't know. Even with that crappy phone camera, these look really good, guys. I hate these stamps, and at this very moment in time, I could care less for the stamp. Like that, I'm not even acknowledging that thing. This looks good, guys. The texturing, the way they did it with the card, it looks amazing. And then the Mew and Mewtwo, they actually look good as well. Like they actually look good. Look at them. Look at the Mewtwo. That looks sick, guys. Look at the way they did the texturing, guys. Oh, the cards. These cards that we were all disliking. I don't even know how many people dislike these Mew and Mewtwo promos. Even I didn't like them. And now, and this is always a thing, right? A lot of the time we see cards, from like some kind of digital image, and we don't really we don't really get to see the card for what it really is. And then when we finally see a card in hand, it changes our mind, and it happens often. Like more often than not, we always see a card in hand, and it always looks better. Mew looks girly. I guess the colors do, right? But it's supposed to be like day, of course, the same way as Mewtwo is night. They are coming in their separate UPCs, right? The Mew is going to come in the day UPC, and the Mewtwo is going to come in the night UPC. So, it makes sense for it to be that way. But it still looks pretty good. It still looks pretty good. Imagine it in a slab. Imagine it with a graded guard. With a graded guard that goes along with that color. Like it's going to look good. People are going to want it, and it's going to be expensive. That's going to be an expensive PSA 10. So is the Mewtwo. So is both the Umbreon and Espeon are going to look amazing. So the other thing I was talking about was Rip and Ship Gaming. Already posted here 7 hours ago. I am considered to be one of the largest stores and top 5% allocations in the country. Was just told by my main distro the numbers for the 30th anniversary sets are horrible and it's going to be a shit show. Can't wait. So these guys are actually by me. They're in Long Island, New York. Uh, Deer Park, New York, as you can see, that's in Long Island. It seems like even they're going to have issues getting some of the 30th. How accurate that is, I've had my own, beliefs. Like I said in my Discord, I believe them just as much, or I trust them just as much as I trust the government, right? Just like Pokemon wants demand to stay up, and I think all these LGSs want the same thing too. But they can't all be liars at the same time. I would definitely not consider them. I wouldn't just write them off instantly right away, but it's very possible that they aren't getting a lot of product. Maybe they're not getting a lot of each individual product because there are so many. And on top of that, we also have to consider there are a lot of mouths to feed. There are a lot more stores out there now than there ever was. Not even just stores. We got online stores. We have streamers that get distribution. Believe it or not, those whatnot streamers, a lot of them actually get distribution. And so now, it's that much harder for people to get allocations, for people to get actual product. It's that much harder. And I'm not surprised that a store is coming out saying they're not getting what they need or what they want, and they're getting shorted. Um, they're just maybe there isn't enough to go around. Who knows? This could be also information for the first wave and not the entirety of their allocation. 1 second, guys. Yeah, close it. Hold on. uh 1 second, guys. All right, we're back. So yeah, it all makes sense. It's a lot to deal with. Um, so I don't know, guys. I think we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. People are actually panicking, right? People are gonna be scrambling for pre-orders. GameStop, we're seeing what GameStop is doing with their prices. GameStop is not going to be a place for you to go and buy the 30th anniversary unless you're just willing to dish out way too much money for these products. Like it's insane. I think the UPC was at $600 for a UPC when MSRP I think is 200 now for it. I mean 200 is still a lot, but $600 is absolutely insane. Let me see. Let's see what we can see here. I wish I had a link for the GameStop. Oh, it's not showing the prices right now. It looks like it's just showing the date. Online is not showing the prices. There are pictures out there of that, but online they're not showing the prices. They're just showing the release dates for a lot of these products, which it looks like they're going to be a little scattered. Nothing too crazy. I'll just show it on the screen here so you guys can at least actually see their release dates. But once again, I don't think that GameStop is the place to go, man. The figure collection boxes are gonna be what I target for. Is that I have a question though. Is that because of Mimic Brew? I know heard Mimic Brew's video. I saw it. Is that why did he sway you that way? Just curious. The ETVs are like 130, crazy. Um, yeah, boycott GameStop. It's not the place to go for sure. But we have all these scattered products all the way from down here. The first one's coming out on September 16th, which is a Sylveon box, this 3-pack poster collection, this 3-pack blister. What else we have? The ETB, which from what they're saying here in the chat is 130. These Naka collection box with the EV promo, and then the booster bundles on the second, 2 weeks after, 2 weeks and I guess a few days, October 2nd. Same thing here with this binder, the tins, and then on the 30th we have the Zeraora battle deck box, which I'm assuming would come with the other battle deck box because there's two of them. And then we have these coming out on November 6th, and then this tin comes out on December 4th. This is not going to be the place to go though. I mean, but they're coming out. They're a little scattered, just to know the dates at least. Not going to be the place to go. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get any of this at MSRP or close to MSRP, but it's not looking great. And we're seeing a lot of people, like I mentioned before, this guy Pack Hype Collective, right? He has like an online store. He's trying to sell off everything so that he could buy up 30th celebrations products so that he could sell them on his store. So just imagine he wants to really get rid of most of his stuff so that he could buy that up. And I'm gonna imagine that most will too, right? I think that a lot of people are gonna try to go into the 30th really, really hard. We just don't know how much is gonna be out there. If Pokemon, I feel like if there was gonna be a set that like broke scalpers, if they could not get at MSRP, it would be this one, right? Because we don't know how much we're gonna get. What I am thinking, even though we saw that Rip and Ship Gaming said that they're not getting what they allocated for, I feel like Pokemon has delayed printing all these other sets for them to actually print this thing into the ground. It makes all the sense in the world to me for them to print this to the ground more than anything else, more than Destined Rivals, even though it's at 600. I don't think they care. I don't think they're really that aware of what the secondary market is doing right now. I don't think that that's really their main focus. I think it's production. I think it's money. I think it's all that stuff that they really care about, that most businesses care about. They probably have an idea, but they're probably not too focused on it. I think that they're going to be extremely focused on the 30th. I just think that they're going to print this stuff to the ground. But it is, like I said, it is the 30th anniversary. It makes sense for that to happen. To me, it makes all the sense in the world that that's what they're going to do. But we'll have to see. But like I said, I think this is the one that could really bury some people. I think this is the one that could bury people, stores. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think be careful, especially overpaying for these. I think that moving forward, we know that a lot of these anniversary sets, they're going to be hot at first, and then they're probably going to be extremely flat going from here on out for the next like 4 years, just like the 25th anniversary did, right? I expect them to be extremely flat for the next 4 years. I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe people go crazy for these sets. But this, I will say this, at least this 30th celebrations is better than the 25th. Because the 25th was really lackluster. Like it just didn't have what it needed to be a celebration set. Like Generations was a lot better. This one has a lot more going for it. It has those like amazing cards, those reprints of like the Crystal Lugia, the Prime Gengar, and the Magikarp, and all these other cards in there, all those Pikachus. There's a lot more packed into this set than whatever we had in the 25th celebrations. So I will say that. So maybe that keeps the hype going. It's also like comparing a smaller set to a deeper set. The deeper set usually appreciates a lot more. It's more desirable. It's more in demand. So that may be a thing for this too. So I could be completely wrong. There's an argument for either side of the 30th being something that still will keep on appreciating for the next few years or be flat for the next 4 years. But it's very possible that it'll be flat until the next anniversary comes around. But like I said, arguments for both sides. But I don't know if this is like, I don't know if this is the greatest investment. I think it's great to have. I do want some of these UPCs for sure. I want UPCs. If I can get my hands on UPCs, maybe several cases, nothing too insane because they are bulky. And I talk about this all the time. These things are bulky. You know, every single item that we're looking at here, that I'm looking at least on my screen, right, with the GameStop stuff, They're bulky. UPCs bulky. Collection boxes bulky. ETBs bulky. No booster boxes. None of the stuff that doesn't take up room aside from the booster bundles, but every single thing else is bulky. So for me, I would like UPCs if anything. UPCs, if I can, a case of ETBs. I'm fine with a single case. I'm fine with a single case of each UPC, which is why I said several. Um, if I could have some loose ones to rip, that would be great as well. So I could get some of those promos, maybe get lucky with some of those like packs with the special 3-pack cards in there. Um, so yeah, a lot going on there. And then these collection boxes have a lot of these nice illustrations, like that Ditto. I think that Ditto is going to be pretty valuable. I think people are really going to want that one. The Zera Aura is going to be all right. And then there's another one. I forgot what is the other one again. I forgot it. Why can't I remember it? I can't remember. But then the Neat Arena is also going to be a nice one as well, right? So let's see. No, I'm just a huge fan of figures, Pokemon cards, and the presentation of that. Okay, because Mimic Brew did mention the possibility of like them being valuable because the prismatic ones are valuable or have appreciated a decent amount. But keep in mind that the prismatic ones, they stopped producing them because there was something of a hazard with the figure collection with the actual figures, so they stopped making them for that reason. So just keep in mind at least that. But that is a very good point. Mimic did have a good point mentioning yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did say that it makes sense if you compare it to the prismatic ones, but the prismatic ones, when it comes to production, there was some kind of a hazard with the pin, and for that reason, they stopped producing them. So that may not be the case with this, right? I would assume they would have learned their lesson with that pin. Or he just made a video saying that he's skipping the 30th, so maybe I copy trolled. Who's skipping the 30th? I don't know who you. I booked the holiday for November 6th already. Oh my gosh, you booked the day off. Um, you know, it's gonna be tough, guys. I don't. I personally can't think of a single place that I can go to get something for MSRP, unless we're talking about going to one of these big box retailers and lining up, which I'm not fond of at all. I don't want to be in that environment. I don't want to be in an environment where people are running, pushing, trying to grab boxes out of your hands before you grab them off the shelf. Like that's not the environment I want to be in. Um, and I'm a very like civilized person. I will walk to the shelf. I will grab what I want to grab without pushing you. Um, and that's just how I would like to be treated the same way. So I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. At least for me, I don't know how I'm going to get my hands on the product as of yet. I usually buy things off the secondary market, but we're already hearing like these prices, right? So what are people going to do? We'll see what the pre-order prices at some point on TCG Player will be like. I hope they're not too crazy because that usually has some kind of an influence on the market. But I really hope not. I really hope that it's something that's reasonable at least. But hype is coming right back. All this stuff, where the summer slowdown and now like all this, it's so funny. We went from summer slowdown videos. Everybody had a summer slowdown video alive, and it was just constant for the past few weeks. Now the product is not even out. We're freaking 2 months away from even getting any of this stuff, maybe more than 2 months. And out of nowhere now, all of a sudden, the hype is back. All of a sudden, the crash is gone. Like it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Pack Hype says he has connections to get the 30th. I think he has a scalper network. Well, if he does, then he does. I don't know how he's gonna get his stuff, but it's gonna be difficult, man, especially for somebody that doesn't have distro. How much can you really get? Um, I don't know. If you have connections, that'll be the way. I personally don't have any actual connections. I don't have anything. I don't have any friends in the hobby outside of you guys. Like I don't speak to nobody in person. I'm just starting to get cool with this one vendor that I met that I spoke in the video. I spoke to him in the video if you guys saw, the guy named John. Um, but not many people that I know in person at all in this hobby. So I don't have any real connections. The LGS that I was supporting, I thought the owner was I thought the owner was like taking care of me at first until Destin Rivals came out. And when Destin Rivals came out, he wasn't trying to really work with me. He was getting, at the time, I didn't know that those prices were good prices because of how Destin Rivals has done. But at the time, He was trying to sell me boxes for 220 like before release pre-order. And at the time, nothing had pre-ordered at that price. Journey Together, I think, was over like 200 and something dollars for pre-orders, but he still gave me that for MSRP. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like supporting that store. May I revisit just to see what it's like? Maybe he'll allow me to pre-order. I'll try, but outside of that, the LGS is by me. There's one LGS by me that's decent, but the line like goes down the block and around the corner for that store. So, and it always feels like these people don't have jobs. It always feels like the people who go to these stores don't have jobs because there's no way that this store opens at 11 a.m. and there's already a line and it's a weekday. Like how? Like I'll never get that. You know what I mean? Like not for me. I think it'll be hyped up for the first year, then go stagnant. That's what I think is going to happen, right? But like I said, a lot of it depends on what we're getting, and we're getting so much more here than what we got for the 25th, right? The 25th didn't have all these promos. Yes, it had some. It had that metal Pikachu, that metal Charizard, which absolutely took off last year. I'm so upset because I was going to buy up some metal Charizards, and they were selling for like $50 to $60 when I was looking at them. Now they're like $350. But whatever. Outside of that, we don't really have too much from the 25th, aside from that Charizard, some of those other cards, the Umbreon, but outside of that, nothing crazy. Now we have so much more. We have a Charizard again. We have the Magic card from Paldea Evolved. We have the Crystal Lugia. We have the Prime Gengar. We have those, 30 Pikachus. Like, we have these Umbreon promos. We have the Ditto. We have the Zeraora. We have the Mew and Mewtwo. We have that Pikachu and the Pikachu Day and Night one. We have a freaking Eevee promo in a collection box, right? We have this stupid binder. Just, I don't know, man. We have so much more here. So I think that it will be stagnant. I expect it to be stagnant for 4 years before the 35th. But I think the question is, when will it become stagnant? And then when will it become stagnant, and at what price point will it be when it finally does become stagnant? That's going to be the real question. Are these UPCs that are being sold at GameStop at 600 or MSRP for them is 200? What are they going to sell in the secondary market? What are they going to be? They're not going to be 200, right? 200 is already something that a lot of people didn't want to pay for when it came to the Mega Charizard UPC, right? People did not want to pay 200. People didn't want to pay 230. It's at like 270 now. A lot of people don't want to buy it at that price. This MSRP for this is 200. MSRP for the Mega Charizard UPC was 130. I'm pretty sure most people are not going to want to pay 200 for it, even though 200 is MSRP. If a case has 4, that's $800 already, guys. Understanding that, right? We're understanding. If a case of these UPCs, if it's like the Charizard one, if it's like the Prismatic SPC one, a case will have 4 of these UPCs, and if you were able to get them at MSRP, you're paying up $800 for that UPC, right? How many people are going to be willing to do that? It's just, that's MSRP is 200 for these, right? That's going to be something to get used to, right? And then, so if MSRP is 200, what's the market going to be at? You guys think it's going to be at 250? You guys think it's going to be maybe at $300? I think it's going to be pretty pricey. I think the lowest listed we're going to find anywhere is probably going to be 300. And I think GameStop selling at 600 is already going to make it crazy. We're really going to have to see what pre-orders are like on TCG Player. We're going to have to see what these websites sell these at. Like, we're really going to have to wait and see what happens. This is going to be like, now that we're seeing this, now that things are getting released, now that numbers are coming out, now that, like I showed you guys, Rip and Ship Gaming is saying that they're not getting what they were allocated, and they're within the top 5% of those that, like, allocation wise, they're within the top 5% in the country, and they're already told that they're not getting much. It's going to be a shit show from what they said. I don't know, man. Hey, can you please explain the 3-pack you just referenced? The 3-pack. There's a 3-pack. There's a collection box. 3-pack poster collection right here, and a 3-pack blister. There is a little Alolan Executor on this 3-pack blister. Sadly, no cameos though. You know, the cameos usually do really well for these little promos. No cameos whatsoever. I've already seen this one like with like zoomed in a little up close. There's 2 3-pack blisters. There might be another. We usually have more than one kind of three pack blister. We'll have to see, or with more than one kind of promo. But like I said before, like this image is only showing one UPC. This is only showing one figure collection. I don't have all the images right here in front of me. Right, there's two of these collection boxes. There's one with the Sylveon. There's one with Lucario. There's two different tins. Things like that. So, but yeah, that was it. Grim, what's up, bro? What's going on? Jacob, what's up, man? Welcome. TCG UPC 1700. But that's got to be insane. I don't even know. Sometimes I see these prices on TCG Player, and I think that a store just contacts another store and say, "Hey, listen, buy this thing. Let's set this market price so that this thing can be like insane." I truly think that people do that, and it's sad because we'll never see who's the buyer, right? We'll never be able to see who's the buyer on TCG Player. Who the hell would buy a UPC as a pre-order? You know what? I would understand more if that store could give it to that person who paid 1700 in hand today, months before the official release. But you're pre-ordering this to get it when it releases. So why would it make sense to pay 1700? This is why, like, it makes me question a lot of these things that we're seeing pop up on TCG Player when it comes to pre-orders. It doesn't make sense at all. It's just like shilling on top of shilling, whether it's on eBay, whether it's on TCG Player. Whatever. I don't know. But that price, that's not going to be the price. We're not going to be anywhere close to 1700 for a UPC. That'd be insane. I'll tell you, if it's up there, if a UPC is at 500, you might see me with one. I'm not going to buy multiple at 500. Because these are all inflated. Who knows if we run into a bear market well before we get to the 35th? What if it's 3 years, 2 years down the line, 3 years on the line, we hit a bear market? What are you doing holding these UPCs at 500 that were extremely inflated? I don't think that would be a wise decision whatsoever. I don't. Was waiting for you to go live, bro. Love the upload at the card show. I was able to sell my first Partner Series 2 singles and cash out. I was able to score a Chaos Rising PC ETB for 150. Nice. I'm glad you liked the show. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous putting up the video because, like I said before, everybody watches my channel for investing stuff, right? Or investing content. That video was not necessarily investing content, even though it does relate to investing content because it's telling you what the atmosphere or the environment in Pokemon is like. Because TCG Player doesn't tell all, right? It doesn't tell you everything. eBay doesn't tell you everything. Not everybody is shopping on eBay all the time. Sometimes people want to buy in person. Sometimes people want to avoid fees. They want to sell stuff there. They want to buy stuff there. They want to trade things there. You see none of that on eBay or TCG Player. So I think it really does matter when it comes to the investing space, but it is technically not investing content. It's more like a buyer POV when it comes, but I think it all relates to the one same thing that we're all focused on. So I did like doing it. I just hope that people did like it when they watched it. And so far, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. I did mention to you guys that mic sucks. It was an older mic. I was supposed to get a mic on Saturday, but Saturday I did not feel good whatsoever. I did not leave the house, nothing. So I was not good to go buy a mic. I was supposed to go buy a gimbal, a mic, and none of it happened. So that morning I just showed up. I showed up late. I showed up at 2. The card show started at 10. I showed up over 4 hours late. So if you can imagine, if you saw how busy that card show already was, think about the first 4 hours, right? People were as I was coming in, people were leaving. Right? People were leaving. There was a line still going in, but people were leaving. So you can imagine how packed it really was before, especially in that part where I said to you guys that it smelled like sweat in that last room. That was the third room. And it really did. Like it was just that you got hit with this humidity, like this wave, but it was actually sweat. You could smell it. It was crazy. Like I said, 200 plus vendors, 3 huge rooms, not much ventilation. The AC was not strong enough to hold all those people. Like, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't. But hopefully, I make it to Collecticon in a few weeks and in New Jersey, and I can record there as well. Just a better mic. I'm still gonna record with a phone though. But like I said before, I said it in my Discord. I did record in 4K. I just didn't upload export from the software and upload in 4K because it was taking an extremely long amount of time. It was insane. It took hours for me to export it in 1080p. So I don't even know how long I would have took in 4K, but I did record in 4K. I did notice later on that the lens on the phone was like a little blurry, so it should have got cleaned a little better. But it's 4K. You can record in 4K on all of your phones right now, and the quality is actually great. So that's that. And one day, eventually, if I when I do start vending, I have reached out to some shows as well. Something that I'm actually revealing now for the first time, not even in my Discord because it just came to mind. I have already contacted two events. The two events that I went to, I contacted both of them through Instagram and just asking them about their process when it comes to um, getting a table at those shows in the future. So hopefully, I can actually start vending like I've been saying. I do want to do it. Like going to that last show really made me want to vend even more. Like I would really enjoy it. Do you think the 30th will push first partner boxes up, specifically the series one? I think the 30th was going to push everything up, right? Like we're seeing singles move, we're seeing sealed is not moving as much. We don't know what's going to happen in that time. People will be back from vacation. This will be September, right? When it releases. If we're going hit by history, which it didn't happen last year, usually we go through that little slowdown in the summer, and then September comes around, August comes around, and it gets hot again. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think the 30th will push everything up again, like just even further. Singles, slabs. I think that they're going to keep going, even though slabs are pulling back now. I think that they're going to keep on going because Pokemon overall is going to keep going. So demand's going to be up. Prices are going to keep rising because people don't want to settle. They want to sell for more. And it's just the same constant thing, it's the same constant pumping. People want to sell cards for higher values. And I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to continue with the 30th. It is funny how you are packed to the hype cycle. Kind of reminds me of how the sentiment used to be to wait for cards to go down in price. Now it's the opposite all the time. Yeah, 100%. Saving most of my Pokemon money for the Emerald set. I think the Emerald set is going to be insane, honestly. But I do think that the 30th is this, it just has so much, guys. Like, thinking about what's that Crystal Lugia going to cost, right? If you had one of those, right, it's going to be a singular pack that has 3 cards in it, and it'll have some of those from what I'm hearing, it'll have some of those cards that were released, those special cards, those, like, older cards. So, it'll have the Gengar Prime, it'll have, the Magikarp, and then the Crystallugia. Like, what's that card gonna cost? Like, how valuable is it gonna be? I wonder what kind I hope they don't have, like, that confetti texture on it, but we won't know till we get it. What's that gonna be like? What are these Espeon and Umbreons gonna be like? The Mewtwo and Mew, like all these amazing cards. What are they gonna be like? And we haven't even seen all those Pikachus. Like, what are those gonna be? There's gonna be a lot of value here. Like, I'm with you. I'm with you. I really want the why can't I remember the name? You're saying Emerald set, but why can't I remember it? Whatever the Rayquaza set. Um, I really want that set. I want a lot of it, right? But I feel like we cannot ignore the value that we're seeing here with the 30th. You know, for sure, the Rayquaza set's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great long-term hold. Hopefully, that card's a banger. Hopefully, it has some other cards to help prop up the set and not just a Rayquaza. Hopefully, there's another Mega in there, right? Like, let's say if we get the Mega Rayquaza, maybe the second SAR will be Mega Metagross. Just like a lot of these other sets had more than one Mega. Hopefully, that's the case there. So, right, we had Mega Zygarde, Mega Clefable, we had a Mega Greninja, Mega Floette. So hopefully that second Mega or third Mega, if there is a third one, hopefully we get something good, something popular, Mega Metagross, Mega Mewtwo, Mega Gyarados. Like, that'd be absolutely crazy. There's just so much. The 30th is going to be hot. The Rayquaza is going to be hot. Like, if you don't get the cards that release, they go up. Yeah. Concept, what's going on, bro? Uh, I'm selling any of my 30th if it's like this through the hype, pick up where people are sleeping, ascended and prismatic. I mean, that's not a bad play either. That's not a bad play either. People are not gonna be talking about ascended. They're not gonna be talking about prismatic. Uh Outside of the possible buyouts, right? Like we just had, right? Ascended Heroes, did they even pull back? I have not been looking at it as of late. Um let me just take a quick look at where the Ascended Heroes ETBs are. I've been more focused on that card show stuff as of late in my mind. So we're back down to 175. So it pulled back all the way. So that manipulation did not hold at all. It didn't even create a new floor. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. That's awesome, though. In my opinion, honestly, that's awesome. That is for me at least. I think Ascended, has time. It's gonna it needs time to age. It just doesn't make sense for things to keep flying. Let it age, and I think that's where it should be. And it's still exactly where I thought it would be for the rest of the year. So outside of the manipulation, I said for a good while that it was going to sit around that 180 range and stay flat for the rest of the year. Till the market accepts it at that price and actually starts rising to $200. But it's great to see it there. And so while people are not looking at these, if the Ascended Heroes ETB does fall any further, it's at 175 right now. Prismatic ETBs, what are they at right now? They were last at 130. Um, and I mean, I have my Prismatic already. I'm good with what I have with Prismatic. Not to say that if a good opportunity came around, I wouldn't buy it. We're sitting at 177, so it pulled back a little bit. It's still pretty close to 180. So Prismatic and Ascended Heroes, while everybody's paying attention to the 30th, and the Rayquaza set would be amazing as well. It would be a good play in my opinion. Um, but yeah, there's going to be a lot going on, man. I think you and everybody else is going to want that race set for sure. And the 30th, like I said, there's so much potential there. I can't remember. I can't wait. The hype was never gone. We just need to rest sometime. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's summertime. It's true. People are going on vacation, and it's okay. Um, but at the same time, it's something that people kept saying how, uh, like things were crashing and all that stuff, and I was never on that. You guys never heard me say that we were crashing. Of course, I did talk about buy volume being down. It did not mean that demand was gone. And I even used the analogy of water hitting a pan with oil. The moment a lot of these products they drop to a certain point, demand picks it up quickly. If Ascended Heroes drop below 170, which it was sitting at 173 for a while, if it does drop to 160, you're going to see buy volume increase. You're going to see the demand start picking up again for that set. It's just opportunity isn't always there. It doesn't always look as good. Everything is really expensive, right? So it just makes sense to me that way. I'm pretty sure it makes sense to most people that way. People are saying that the 30th is a big play, but no, except the UPC, since they're going to be difficult. But it is all folly to keep attention away from the fact that Prismatic is going out of rotation soon. I mean, listen, I've spoken about Prismatic so many times. I'm not. I don't know, man. I know that it's not something that I can just stop talking about, but I don't like talking about the same exact thing all the time. And I know that other YouTubers do it. I know there's YouTubers that literally talk about Prismatic every single video. But I think it becomes like you start to sound like a broken record. Like I've gone to videos and I've watched videos, and even if it's guys that I like to watch, and I'm just like, damn, again, and I'll just actually click away. So if I'm doing it and I like these people, then I'm pretty sure there are other people doing it. So I don't want to keep talking about the same thing again. I've spoken about Prismatic so many times. I spoke about the UPCs, right? I bought 2 cases. I have 2 cases of the ETBs. I spoke about booster bundles, even though I haven't bought any booster bundles. I should start buying up booster bundles because they don't take up as much room. And that's the reason why I don't want more Prismatic, because everything's bulky. So the booster bundles would be a great play for me, for my situation. And I also spoke about the ancillary products, right? I spoke about the 3-pack blisters. I spoke about just the access to the pack for the common collector in card shows, for example. If I do vend, let's say if I vend, let's say right where I'm talking about vending, I have been talking about vending. So let's say I start my first show 3 weeks from now, and I'm 2 years down the line, I'm still vending, and I have these 3-pack blisters, and I want to sell 3-pack blisters at the show. Maybe people want to buy packs. The best entry for them, the best access to a pack, will be 3-pack blisters, right? Like that's going to be the thing that they're going to go for because it's going to be the more affordable. And they're each going to have nice promos. They're going to love them just as they do now. Booster bundles are going to be really expensive. ETBs are going to be really expensive. The SPCs are going to be really expensive. Those 3-pack blisters are going to be the things that are going to fly. So I've spoken about Prismatic so many different times, and even the surprise boxes, right? 4 packs and a promo, another chase, like, within the chase, right? So I've spoken about all these items so many times. I hope people were around for it. Um, and whether if you believe me or not, you resonate with what I'm saying, and it makes sense to you, and you make the play and you believe in it, then of course it's on you. Everybody makes their own decisions because this is just my opinion. It's speculation here. Um, you know, I think Prismatic is great to have long term, and I think I'm more realistic than a lot of the people out there. I'm thinking about Prismatic, like I said before, even describing the vending thing, 2 years on the line, 3 years on the line. What is it going to be like then? I'm not concerned with it blowing up right now. I don't need it to blow up right now. That's not organic. It's not what I really want for the products that I have. It just doesn't make sense for the market, anyways. But Prismatic for sure is going to be a top tier thing. I think. Um, I don't doubt it. I just have confidence in it. Not everyone works a 9 to 5 job. I used to work at Target, and we had to wait 15 minutes after restock. You had to be on lunch break. I mean, I get it, but the majority of people do. The majority of people do. Um, to be fair, the UPC has 30 packs. That's double. It is. It is. MSRP is still 200. I mean, at the end of the day, MSRP is 200 still. So, I mean, we could say that it's double the packs. MSRP is still 200. And this is the thing where people don't realize. Yeah, it has 30 packs. Yeah, it has all these promos. Realize this, if you're buying products for investment purposes, right? A lot of these products, when you buy them at these insane prices, they have that much more trouble rising in value. At a certain point, you realized that booster boxes that you have, they we've heard all these stories, right? All these videos of booster boxes rising 200%, 300%, 400%. Once it has that big run, now we're going to see that product start having a lot more trouble having similar gains. As a matter of fact, you're not going to have similar gains, right? Destin Rivals, people were, I remember earlier this year, people were saying that they thought Destin Rivals was going to be at 1K by the end of the year, which I think is absolutely crazy to think. And now you're hearing people say that they think Destin Rivals is going to have trouble getting to 1K, and that they think it's going to actually not appreciate too much for the rest of the year. The very, very same people that you heard say that it could be 1K now are saying that it's probably going to be like 650 by the end of the year, maybe 700, maybe, if that. Right. So after a certain price point, a lot of these products start having trouble moving. It's not, it's easier for a booster box to go from 160 to 300 than it is for it to go from 300 to 400. It's just, that's the way it works. So just thinking about buying these products, thinking about buying a UPC at $500 when 200 is MSRP, just that's something that you definitely need to be aware of, because once you buy at 500, it's going to have that much more trouble rising in value. And if you're investing in it, you want it to rise in value, right? So just keep that in mind. A lot of these people, that had success stories had amazing entry points. The people that have the insane success stories had already been here for like 5, 7 years. We're buying booster boxes at 90, $80 per box. I hope you guys really realize that the guys that are successful now that have shown you all this insane growth had amazing entry points. Okay? Just keep that in mind. People that were able to buy Paldea Evolved at $90 per box. This thing is over 500. What is it? What is it at right now? Can't even remember. Which it doesn't even really matter. The point is that even though Paldea Evolved is a great box to have, buying it at 500 is nothing like buying it at $90, right? Just keeping that in mind, things like that, I don't know. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Market settles at 500. I hope not. I don't know, man. I don't know. If MSRP is 200, I hope that it at least settles at 350. I'm hoping. I'm being hopeful, I'm being optimistic, not just for myself, but for everyone, for so that everybody can have access to that. I hope that it's not some absurd thing where people don't even have the opportunity. So, I talk about it all the time, guys. Entry point is one of the most important things when it comes to investing. It doesn't even matter what it is. Entry point is incredibly important, you know? He says, "No way." Integra, what's going on, bro? Will the 25th celebration UPC go up in price from now to the point of the release of the 30th? Probably. And of course it'll just keep aging. It'll definitely rise in value. All these sets rise in value. After this anniversary, though, it'll probably start to flatten out. It'll probably start to stagnate, start to rise in value like really slow in comparison to the way it did before. Do you think Temper Forces is worth it for the long term? Thank you. Um, Listen, I've been there are sets that I've been talking about that no one else talks about, and that Temper Forces is one of them. I just personally I like the sets. I I, I think that people down the line will appreciate the set. I think that the three legendary dogs are cool. I think the Iron Crown is nice. The Iron Boulder, the Ghastly. I think Morty's Conviction with the Gengar in there is cool. The set's also really deep. It's a really deep set. But it is Pokemon with like future Pokemon or whatever they are, Paradox Pokemon. So there is a little bit of back and forth there. Will it rise in value like everything else, like the big hitters? No, but I think it will rise in value. I mean, it is going to rise. Everything Pokemon over time, the older that they get, they just become more scarce, and they do rise in value. I think what you really want to know is how fast, in comparison to others, will it rise. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle of the pack. I think it'll be better than Scarlet Violet Base, better than Paradox Rift, um, but somewhere in the middle, though, right? Not as good as maybe Twilight Masquerade, but just behind that set, I think. So, well, it's hard to try to determine what is going to how it's going to perform in the long term, but I think that's where we're going to be at. It just depends on how many hype cycles we go through. Like, a lot of these sets that we know are good sets, like even Sword and Shield sets that are really good, were not that expensive up until this hype cycle came in. If you look back, you'll see that Fusion Strike around May last year was like $400, I think, because it's 1,000 now. It was due specifically to this hype cycle. If we still had a bear market, Fusion Strike wouldn't be nowhere close to $1,000. It just wouldn't. The demand wouldn't be there. The market wouldn't be there for it. Everything would still be rising in value really, really slowly. But it would not be $1,000. So how soon does the next hype cycle come around? Do we even go into a bear market? Like, there's so many questions, so many variables there that it's hard to determine. But I guess, just to answer your question, I think Temple Forces will be decent long term. Anytime you see these super early, super high buys, it's either first to market tax or heat shilling. Yeah, that's what I think it really is. Half the cards, yeah, they have half the cards. Do I collect bulk? Um, I don't collect bulk, but I haven't gotten rid of my bulk. I used to like sell them off to an LGS, but I regret it because there were a lot of common cards within that bulk that were actually valuable. Like you're seeing now that the Gengars from 151, the hollow, just the regular hollow rares are valuable. I gave a ton of those away, for example, So yeah, so now I don't just get rid of it. I actually have like a bulk problem right now, but I haven't gone through the bulk. I would go. I'm gonna have to go through the book and pick up the cards that I think are gonna be valuable at some point, or are valuable now, maybe popular artists and things like that, and then or popular Pokemon in general. Because, like, for example, Psyduck common cards do really well over time. Like, people like them. But then at that point, once I go through it and get pick out everything that I think is worth holding, then I'll just get rid of the rest of the bulk and sell it off to a store. But no, I don't actually collect it. Do you think they will be doing pre-orders of UPCs on PC? Yes, yes. They did it. They did it for the Prismatic SPC. You were just only able to get one. That's the only thing. You'll probably be able to get one, and that is all. So yeah, I expect every single one of these products to appear on the Pokemon Center. There's just going to be a decent limit. 30th when live here in Australia, EB Games UPC $600 Australian pre-order. That's nuts. I mean, listen, they're just like GameStop, right? They're just they're gonna try to take advantage of the market and make as much money as possible. Which Pokemon moved the most? And what do you mean by that? You threw me off with this one, Karma. Let me know what you mean. DJ, what's up, man? What's going on, brother? Um, it wasn't my first card show. I had a stack of singles with the prices on them with a little sticky note. Walked up to the first vendor I saw with a good vibe and asked to sell a good cashed out. Nice. That's not bad. I mean, listen, it's always a good thing when it works out at a show, right? Bro, what's going on? Nothing better than a place full of sweats needing their cardboard. Bro, it like, body odor in card shows is a problem. And I don't know why, you know, I would have, like the only times that I've ever experienced like bad body odor myself was like after a long hot day in a construction site. Like, and I'm talking about sweating through my jeans where you could visibly see it. Like, it would look like I'm wet all the way down to my knees, and my wallet would be full of sweat. My cash would all be actually soaking wet. Days like that, yes. But at a card show, I don't know, man. I don't know why. Not only did it smell like sweat, but there are certain people in there that have some horrible body odor. Insane. What computer do you have? I'm on a laptop. But if I think you're asking because of how long it was going to take to export the video. A big reason why I have an issue with exporting is because they use CapCut to edit. Now, I did at some point use, I think it was Black something DaVinci or DaVinci, I forgot what it was. I used different software before though, and it exports way, way, way faster. The problem is, I just got really comfortable with CapCut, and CapCut takes a much longer time to export videos. So I need to make the change because after trying to upload this hour and 15-minute video, I noticed that it was going to take way too long, or export. It really was that. It wasn't the computer itself because I've used the other software and it's like incredibly fast. So gotta get you some of those meta glasses. Actually, DJ, what do you use to let me know. I know I'm behind in this in the chat. Let me know what you use to edit. I'm curious. Gotta get you some of those meta glasses. You know what's funny? When I bought these glasses, I actually was intending to buy it, but the store that I went to didn't have meta glasses. But if I'm gonna those meta glasses would have literally became my everyday glasses because these are my everyday glasses. Now, if I buy meta glasses, I would hope that I would have actual use for them. Like I don't want to use meta glasses for like one thing. Like if I buy those meta glasses, if I do buy them, I don't know if I will or won't. If I do buy them, it will be with a purpose. Like it will be that I'm going to use them a ton. It will be that I'm going to use them at card shows, buying point of views. Maybe I'll record with those instead, or even while I'm vending, I could have the lenses recording as at the same time with the camera as well. Maybe I could have two different point of views. Maybe it'll catch something that the other thing doesn't catch. Whatever it may be, if I actually get to vend as much as I really would like to. Hold on. Yeah, as much as I really would like to, then it will be worth it. But I don't want to just dish out $200 or $300 for a pair of glasses and use them once a month. That's like a waste. Um, Cashed out in minutes, had buying power to buy more stuff at good deals. Addicted to going to card shows, now good deals and discounts easy, especially on the big stuff. Yeah, it's fun, man. That's why I'm saying like I want to vend, and I think I'm just like I don't doubt that I'm gonna make money, right? Like I was supposed to make a video about conversations that I had at the show, but like there was a guy. I'm only gonna say this part because I want to make a video about it. There was a guy that was trying to convince me to quit my job, and it wasn't for no reason. It's not like he wanted anything bad for me. He was just so adamant or so confident in the fact that I was gonna make a certain amount of money, every week going to card shows because he does it and he quit his job and that's what he does full time now. I'm going to disclose more of that in the next video for you guys, just how crazy it is. Like, when I made that last video and I talked about like vendor confidence and how confident vendors were, you guys have absolutely no freaking idea. No idea. Like if people that are on YouTube, I have not seen one person, not Alex, not Rudy. I haven't seen any of them as confident as these people when it comes to like what they're doing. We're talking about people that aren't wealthy. We're not talking about people that are in Rudy's position that already have money and could take a risk and still be okay if they failed. We're talking about people that were average people that quit their union jobs. Another union construction worker, he quit his job to vend. And he told me what he makes or whatever. So like I said, I wanted to talk about that in the video, but that's why I made that other video about how confident vendors are. It's nothing like what we're seeing here online. The people that you've seen quit their jobs are all people that if they failed, already had a backup plan and they're gonna be okay. Right? Like I think uh even Alex from the Studynomics, he quit his job, but he already, you know, said before that he was already set. He was good with the money he made, and probably his wife makes good money as well. Who knows what she does, but the point is that these guys were already okay. These vendors are just their confidence is on a whole nother level. Poke Painter, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Complex might meet the New Jersey Devil. Who's that? That's not me. Or you're talking about because of collecticon? That's not- that sounds too funny. With the 30th reveals, could the summer have a bigger slowdown because people will be stockpiling cash for the 30th? Um, it's possible, I guess. I guess that scenario, there's no reason why that is impossible. It is possible. Um, but what I think is gonna happen is that everybody that was ignoring Pokemon, looking at other TCGs, looking at One Piece, looking at Lorcana, people that were just chilling out and thinking about the slowdown, I think now the 30th is gonna just bring them back to Pokemon and get their attention back on Pokemon. That's what I think is gonna happen. The 30th anniversary looks like shit. Really? I don't think that it looks like shit at all. I mean, I don't think everything is amazing, but I don't think that it looks like shit. For example, earlier, I don't know if you just got here. It's possible that you did, which is okay. Um, where is this thing? Oh, my bad. Right, like I was showing everybody these little videos from earlier. I don't know if you saw these, right? Just to look at like I said before, we all saw digital images of these. We saw the digital. Look at how they look like in person. Look at the texture. Even this, and on top of that, this video quality is horrible. Look at the texture of the cards. Look at how it looks like it's beaming down from the 30th symbol. Like this actually looks really, really good. They did a really great job with these promos. These promos are going to be valuable. I don't think these promos look like shit. You let me know. I don't think they look like shit. I would disagree. These promos look absolutely insane. And then these promos that most people didn't like actually look. This one looks the worst out of the two, right? But it's still nice. There's going to be a lot of people that like it. Look at this one. That looks sick. That looks amazing. I don't know. And I'm not shilling it. I don't have a store. I don't own it to shill it and try to make money off of it. But these are going to have value. The crystal Lugia is going to have value. That Prime Gengar is probably going to have value. All those Pikachu's are going to have value. That what did we have there? Wasn't there like a Lapras or something like that? I think it was a Lapras. That's going to have value. That Ditto promo is going to have value. Um, and there's other things there. I don't think that and then people are also going to keep in mind that the 25th celebrations UPC is over 1K, for example. This is a much better product, in my opinion. What do you think this one's going to be down the line? Just comparing. I think this one's going to do much better, personally. That's what I think. Um, do I think it's the greatest thing in the world? No, it doesn't have to be, but I think it's pretty damn good, honestly. It's a lot better than what I thought. There are a lot more products there than what I thought, and I think it's going to perform a lot better than all of us thought as well. Joey says no way. If they only put all the classic collection cards in those special packs, we cooked. I think that's what's going to happen. But we'll have to see, man. We can speculate all day, but we'll have to see. Delta Rain. Yeah, Delta Rain is gonna be crazy. Um, I can't wait. I can't wait till a Rayquaza card gets leaked. Um, Reverend Ray, what's up, Karma? Uh, what product chat? Sorry. Oh, I don't know. You're talking to somebody else. I don't know who you're talking to. I think the play for the summer will be Costco and Sam's Club drops and picking the scraps off people, just flipping them. Time to stock up on packs. Yeah, I mean, talking about Sam's Club, are we getting, or is it Costco? Are we getting Ascended Heroes that collection box on the 21st? I think that's gonna be nuts. Pokemon did us a favor. Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, and Pitch Black. Yeah. I predict Pokemon will do what Sony did: digital cards and no more bots or scalpers. We'll see in 2030. Let's see what they do. That'd be cool. How you feeling about Pitch Black? For me, I think Darkrai is nice. Darkrai is not the craziest thing in the world. I do think that it's nice. I do like that more Pecco. Like I think that more Pecco popularity of more Pecco is going to keep growing. We're seeing that other more Pecco that IR doing well. Um, I think that SIR is so sick. That's such a cool looking more Pecco. There's some nice cards in there like the Slowbro. At the moment, I'm not even remembering all the cards that are in the set, but there are some decent cards in there. Nothing too crazy. I would say the set's up there with Chaos Rising. Just right there. Definitely not. It's not a perfect order. It's right there with Chaos Rising. With Chaos Rising, it is a smaller set. I don't think it's horrible. It's just smaller. Um, might even do a little better than Chaos Rising, actually. I agree, Jacob. I'm going deep on Prismatic. I'm going to test the water at PSA and send my Sumbreon. It's around 56-44, top to bottom, 50-50 left to right. 56, damn. Yeah, you're cutting it close because you're falling, you're going the other direction. What you really want to be is 54-46 to fall within the 55 and 54 ratio. 55 and 45 ratio. So yeah, I'm not. I any card that I've been pre-grading, once it passes that 55 mark, I haven't been putting it in. As a matter of fact, whatever's at like 56-44 that's close, I've been putting a question mark on the top loader and putting it to the side. Because they're close, but they're still not falling within their standards. And I don't want to, at the moment, I don't want to send anything that's questionable. I'm gonna leave the questionable stuff for later on. I'll look back at it and see if I want to send it in. But damn, I mean, it's a Sunbreon, bro. That's a big card. So it might make sense to just give it a shot and see what happens. Damn, that sucks, man. All you needed was a little bit more to be 55-45. Overweight prismatic. 3-pack blisters for special sets, sleeves for regular sets. The Naka collection with the 30th will be big. Yeah, I think so. Um, yes, sir. 2023 entry point for Sword and Shield. Yeah, I think people don't realize that. They think about all that stuff. They're just going along with the price point and they're seeing GameStop has it for 600, or they like in the chat somebody said EB Games had the pre-order for 600 when it comes to the Australian dollars, and then they think to themselves, I think it'll settle at 500. At that moment, whoever said that is probably thinking that $500 would be a decent price to buy at, or maybe a little under than that. But then you're losing a lot of that growth. You're not giving yourself an opportunity to actually realize those gains or have those gains just while you're holding the product. It's like, for example, it's like, and I know even though it's not Pokemon, the analogy is it's the same. It's like buying a Bitcoin at 50K or buying 5 Bitcoins at 10K and then having them rise to 50K each. Like it's a whole different ball game. Entering at that 50K price point is nothing compared to that 10K price point, and the fact that you were able to buy 5, and that's what everybody else had back in the past, and it's not here anymore. So buying these UPCs at $500, I'm sorry guys, that's not for me. It's not. I'll wait. I'll take the risk and wait. I could sit out, guys. I'm fine. I'm not. Pokemon. One thing that I will say is that Pokemon is not going to stop printing sets, and Pokemon is not going to stop printing good sets. So if this one seems to be a little overinflated or a little bit too expensive for my taste, something that I can't justify, something that doesn't make sense to me, then I'll skip it. There will be another good set down the line. There really will be. It just is what it is. It One thing that I said before, and I know that people haven't liked it, there should be, just like with every investment, regardless of what it is, it doesn't matter what investment it is, there is inherent risk. You know what there also should be? Inherent fear of the risk. There should be a little bit of fear, guys. There should be a little bit of fear there for you to say, damn, that looks like it's too much. Do I want to take that risk? The higher it is, the higher the risk, especially this quickly. And I don't see how people don't, that doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't enter people's minds. So, I mean, but I'm glad that we're also here to talk about it, because I think we should really sometimes just take a step back and try to look at the bigger picture. It's not going to be the end all be all. It doesn't matter if you don't pick up the 30th. It doesn't even matter if you don't pick up the Delta Rain set, the Emerald. What do you call it? I forgot. Why can't I remember the name of this? I've said this set's name so many times and I can't remember it. Emerald Storm? I don't remember. Um, it doesn't matter. There will be another race set sometime in the future. There will be another everything set in the future. You know, there will be a good set at some point, another one. Just like there was Prismatic, time went on. Everybody wanted Prismatic, fighting for it. Death Rivals comes out, great set. Black Bull White Flare comes out, great set. Mega Evolution Base came out, pretty good set. Phantasmal Flames, even though everybody doubted it, the Charizard was amazing. It ended up being a great investment. We got Ascended Heroes, another amazing top S tier set. Like, we're gonna get opportunities for different sets. This is not going to be the end all be all, especially with the 30th anniversary. 100% Jay, people got to think about that. Yeah. Yeah, my pal, had cases were around $600 to $700. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing comes close to any of that stuff. Agreed, Rev. Just bought 84 prismatic sticker collections for $33 per local. They were open, but got a display. Got a display. They came in and also, oh, nice, not bad. I've been talking about that for a decent amount of time. The 3-pack blisters. I used to talk about the Paladin and Fates ones before those ran up. I was talking about the 151 poster collections before those ran up. And, a lot of people kept saying there's a lot of people out there that said not to buy them. And like I said, I'm not going to go and point anybody out, but, just I think it's a thing about I tend to call it common sense. Um, but I keep getting told that my common sense ends in everybody else's common sense. And I think it's for things like this where I can put two and two together and see that the 3-pack blisters are going to provide access to people. 151, if somebody wants to rip 151, let's say you're a store, online store, let's say you're a vendor, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's say you're a seller of some kind. If somebody wants to rip 151, they're going to buy the ETB, the bundle, or the 3-pack blister. Probably the 3-pack blister or the poster collection, whatever it may be. Probably that, because they're so expensive. It's just, I don't know, it just makes sense if we're being realistic with ourselves. Like with stocks, entry levels are everything. I have 10 celebrations ETBs. I bought at MSRP. Exactly. 19K sold so far this year, mostly singles. I ripped at $3 a pack. At $10 a pack, it would have been really worth it. Yeah. Fuzzy, what do you do? Do you vend or something? Is that what you're saying this? Do you vend? You're saying you sold 19K so far this year? Let me know. Drunk, what is up, bro? What's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. Oh, Drunk. Look who came in today. Let's go. I got the torch egg. I think I showed you. I think I got the other one. I showed you the other one. No, sorry. I got this one. Did I order the other one? The one with the crystals on there? I can't remember if I have them both now. I don't know. I have so many freaking cards. so many cards everywhere. I lose track too quickly. I need to figure out some kind of a way to organize all this stuff. Some kind of a system. What do you say? That is why I cleaned out Dollar General mini tins, no wrapping, but all the sealed tins with the security code on them. Tins are so undervalued considering 1 packs will push 42. Yeah. Guys, remember that a lot of people didn't care about a ton of Sun and Moon, XY, and Sword and Shield sets until years and years later. Yeah, 100%. I was going to pull it out. I was going to pull out like the price charting and look at, like, for example, like Fusion Strike, because it's 1K, what it was, right? I could look it up right now. Fusion Strike. I should be able to find the booster box, no problem. Booster box 5 all. Look, this is where what Annette just said resonates, where it hits home because this is what I'm trying to get at. Buying Fusion Strike at these price points in 2023, 130, 125, 102, $80, $80 in 2022. You know, they held this, look at how long they held this for. This here, this growth, all this right here, all this growth, you're not gonna give yourself a chance to experience if you buy things at too much of a high value. And then when it reaches a certain price point, it tends to have trouble. And like I said before, last year in May, April, we were in the 400s. It was really the hype entering this hype cycle that did this, that did all of this. So now, a big question sometimes, or could be, when is the next hype cycle going to be? When is going to be the next motivator for these products to rise in value like this? You have to give yourself the best entry point possible. You do. You really, really do. Because if you're buying Fusion Strike right now, you really don't know when you're going to see this thing rise again. You don't know when the demand is going to come back for Fusion Strike. $1,000. It's so hard for people to buy things at $1,000. It's a lot of money. You know, most people don't have $1,000 to dish out like that. You know, we spoke about uh, a few lives ago. We spoke about like 60% of the United States not having a $500 savings for an emergency. Just think about, try to be a little realistic with some things. Yeah, we are a niche part of the hobby, but try to be aware that at a certain price point, it starts to slow down a lot. Not that it won't move, not that they won't grow in value. I'm not saying that. Don't twist my words at all, because I know sometimes people take things and they think this guy said something, and no, I'm just saying that it slows down. I'm saying it becomes a lot harder for it to appreciate. I'm saying that it becomes a lot harder to sell. So just keep in mind, all right, when you're buying at these price points, it makes it that much harder. Are you allowed to score different drops on the PC on the same account? No. For instance, I got both drops for Pitch Black. They won't. No, no, no. They won't. They won't. Those were separate drops. Now, if you try to go back in and buy again, and you were successful somehow on the same drop with the same account, yeah, then you'd be in trouble. But as long as you're hitting one every drop one time, even if it's for the same item, you're good. The current investors are really from Sword and Shield, beyond starting with If Only Skies, and that took time. Yeah. The thing is that a lot of people, you know, it in reality, it doesn't matter if you started investing in Pokemon today. But with that being said, you truly do have a duty that you owe yourself. You owe yourself the responsibility of looking back in time, doing your homework, seeing how long all of this took to appreciate. You owe that to yourself. You need to look back in history and see how the Pokemon market functioned, why things happened, how they happened, how Fusion Strike got from 400 to $1,000 within a year. Why did that happen? This chart alone probably doesn't tell you that there was a hype cycle, but if you do enough homework, you'll find if we were like in 2027 and it was a bear market and you just came into Pokemon investing, you could look at this chart and see this here and not understand why. The chart alone will not tell you that there was a hype cycle. You will have to actually do your homework. You owe yourself that. You owe yourself that. Do your due diligence. Look back. Look at why things are functioning the way they like. What's causing this to happen, so that you can understand what will cause whatever investment you have within Pokemon to rise in value, at least exponentially, like Fusion Strike did. Right? You owe that to yourself. So just do your homework. Hey mate, I heard the 30th is going to have 5 to 8x the stock of Ascended Heroes. Do you think we'll be able to see it on shelves? I don't know, bro. Look at this, and this is something I think you just got here, which is okay. Look at this, Rip and Ship Gaming. They're here in New York. He wrote here. He posted this 8 hours ago. I am considered to be one of the larger stores and top 5% allocations in the country. So he's within the top 5% allocated in the country. So he gets one of the most, probably top 5%. He's saying, right? Was just told by my main distro the numbers for the 30th anniversary set are horrible and it's going to be a shit show. Can't wait. I don't know. To me, It makes sense that the reason why Pokemon hasn't printed as much as we expected them to is because they were gonna print this to the ground. And it's a celebration set. It's not a regular set. It's not something that they're just gonna walk over. It's not something that it's not a little thing to them, right? This is big. It's a big deal. So I'm hoping that they're gonna print this into the ground, but in reality, nobody really knows. You know, no one really knows what's gonna happen. We'll have to wait and see. Um, will it be on shelves? Just like Pokepin are saying no, especially in the beginning. You know, all those videos that you see of people fighting, we're gonna see them again. The videos you see of people pushing each other, getting police involved, hurting each other, stealing, you're gonna see it again with this set. I have bulk from first edition Team Rocket, all sleeved and waiting to grade. You did show me a bunch of your bulk. You did show me from the show. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know what signals were selling because I'm not. I wasn't a vendor there. I was just buying. I couldn't. I There was no way that I could like actually watch what everybody else was buying. I don't know specifically what singles were selling. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could have asked each vendor like, what are people looking for? What are the majority of things people are? I could have done that, I guess, but I did not. There was one thing that I did do earlier today, and I'm going to do it for you here now. It doesn't. I mean, whether people want to do the things that I do is it's a whole different story. Because I just do the things that I do to just give myself an edge. So I'm on price charting. I went ahead and I looked up just Pokemon cards because it'll bring up Pokemon cards. And I purposely filtered to popularity. I didn't filter from high to low, right? Because if you go from high to low, you're going to get the most expensive cards out there, right? You're going to get these base set Charizard, first edition, Shadowless, you know. But what I did look up was popularity. So this is supposed to be like what is getting looked up the most on price charting, and what if you realize you can actually, you see how it says log out, you can have an account on here, you can add these onto like a wish list, you could create like your collection. You see it says track your collection for free. You can put these onto there like you do on the collector app, and it'll track, you know, the values of the cards. So what I did, or what I'm doing, is I'm purposely looking at what's popular on price charting. People still use price charting a lot, even though people like to trash it. People trash every set though, every website, right? Whether it be this, whether it be TCG Player. So I just look at what's popular right now. Of course, all these we already know these are popular. The Poncho, of course, we know all of these cards here are popular. You know, Vintage has been doing well, and then I started scrolling other things. This Froakie that we have talked about in our Discord numerous amount of times actually is here. I'm surprised that it's this high up though. If you think about it, if you think about everything that's below here, look at all these other cars that are here. Froak is up here. I mean, it is a newer set. It just came out, right? But the Froakie's up there. I think that says a lot. The Mega Charizard UPC promos here. The Cinchino SIR, which is actually a beautiful SIR. And the Clefairy from Perfect Order getting a lot of attention. Just like I said, I try to use whatever I can as an edge for myself, right? So even the Eevee promo here, you know, we're talking about. I'm pointing out things that are easily accessible, of course. And then look at this. The promo that I was talking to you guys about a ton is here as well. But this is what I do, right? I just try to do whatever can give me an edge. But yeah, it's weird with GameStop and EB Games in other countries charging those prices. Here in Canada, EB Games is the closest to MSRP. Supposedly, the 30th UPCs will be about $279 Canadian. That's cool. That's not bad, man. That's awesome, actually. I'm glad that you guys are actually going to have a place to buy. For us, it's probably going to be Target, in store, in person, and Best Buy, maybe Walmart. I guess all three of those, right? So I think that's what that's going to be. But people, it gets too hectic. People are doing too much, honestly. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish people were civilized and whoever gets there first just gets there first, you know. But that's not the case, you know. People are like really, really doing too much. Most shows are hot boxes, and unfortunately, hygiene care is not top of mind. I don't know, man. If I am smelling something on myself, it's gonna bother me, bro. Like, honestly, it's almost like a life hack. All you got to do is bring yourself some like wipes. You could easily clean your armpits and put some deodorant on, just temporarily for the time being. Halfway through the show, if you're feeling some kind of way and you're smelling something, wipe yourself down a little bit, put some deodorant on, and get back to it. You know, like Insane. I have one LGS and that does one item per person and says an MSRP. That's pretty nice. I mean, hey, I'm more of a Magic of the Gathering TCG player, collector, but want to know more about what to actually pay attention to in Pokemon Market, ETBs, booster boxes, Pokemon Center stuff. Kind of lost. So the go-to investable item, of course, is, and welcome to the channel. I don't know how to say your name. I don't want to butcher it. Sig. I'm gonna say Sig. Um, the go-to targeted thing product is booster boxes. Those have been the targeted most like uh believed, trusted items to invest into. PC ETBs have been a very big deal within the last like 2 years. But before that, they weren't. But the newer PC ETBs that have been releasing in the last like 2 to 3 years have a promo in them that is an exclusive Pokemon Center stamped one that was not on those other Pokemon Center ETBs that were printed prior to that, to those years. So that could be the reason why. Um, and people are also speculating there. They're also just trying to make a play. And even though Pokemon Center ETBs weren't the things that people were investing into, um, it has become that. They have become some of the nicest like displayable pieces. Luckily, some ETBs do come with different like art styles on it. Like this ETB right here. This is the Destin Rivals Pokemon Center ETB. If you go look up the regular ETB, the colors are reversed. So instead, Giovanni and Mewtwo are red and the rest of the box is black. And in this one, it's the opposite, right? Giovanni and Mewtwo are black and the rest of the box is red. Um, but the majority of ETBs don't have a different design. If you look at the other ETBs, most of them, they're just like a little zoomed in, and then they say Pokemon Center on the bottom right, which doesn't make them look that much better, but they're still exclusive. They're much more limited. And so for that reason, people are, treating them as such, as an exclusive limited item. And so they're investing more into those. Um, but those matter for these regular main sets, but they matter even more for specialty sets because specialty sets do not get booster boxes. Um, so keep that in mind. Just try to remember, try to figure out what are specialty sets, what are main sets. The specialty sets do not get booster boxes, and the main sets do. Both sets get ETBs, but only the main set gets the booster box. And both kinds of sets also get Pokemon Center ETBs. So all Pokemon Center ETBs across the board do have value. Um, and also, of course, displayability is a big thing, right? That's a Team Rocket thing, right? It's something that people love. It's nostalgia. It's a great thing to have because of that, right? So keep in mind as well, displayability is a thing. But overall, Pokemon Center ETBs, people are believing in them more and more. So yeah, it's a decent amount to keep up with, but I think you'll catch up pretty quickly, especially if you are watching content and you do a little bit of homework. You can look up. As a matter of fact, there are videos out there specifically meant for beginners when it comes to investing, or uh, I, I don't know how the titles go, but they're out there. There's numerous ones out there actually, so you can look at what are those, and then people will explain booster boxes, ETBs, and such, everything like that. So hopefully that helped a little bit, at least maybe steer you in the right direction. Pokemon is a hobby for me. If it goes to zero, I will hate it, but would not change my financial. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I must admit, I hate the logo on those rainbow. Yeah, yeah. The 30th logo on top of those cards, it does suck, honestly. Hot Wheels, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome. I'm sorry, I'm behind on these comments. But it's also you guys commenting, but I don't want you guys to stop. It keeps the live going, right? It keeps interacting. This is what it's supposed to be. I can't just talk about nothing. We have to be talking about something together. Um, Rev, how clean is the card? What card, bro? What do you I don't even know what you're saying right now. Um, I'm gonna rip what I can, but Reverend Ray is going to be on the Ray. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I expect it. I expect it. I would like, you know, in a perfect world, I would like some UPCs to put away. Like I would like a case of each and one of each to rip. Perfect world, right? Maybe an ETB to rip so I can get that Neat Arena promo as well. And I guess, a case of ETBs. But that's in a perfect world. And right now we're in a crazy hype cycle and demand is through the roof. It's probably not going to happen, especially with these prices. I think with these prices, honestly, for me, if I can't find myself a good entry point, I think I'm just going to skip this and go to the race set just because of the entry points. That's all. I'm not buying a UPC for $500 or $600. It's not happening. Not happening. Pokebonks, what's going on, bro? What's up, man? Welcome, man. Thank you for stopping by. The Supreme Victors is clean. There you go. He's talking to him. Do you think the 30th anniversary will be worthwhile keeping sealed single packs? Um, I mean, for the most part, all these sets they perform right, but the 30th it will do well. But like I said, a lot of these anniversary sets tend to do well every anniversary. So the 30th may go crazy right now and then flatten out until the 35th anniversary, which is 5 years down the line. Um, so I don't know if that makes sense to you or like for you to do. But I don't even know how would you keep single packs? Everything is coming sealed. We haven't seen anything about a sleeved blister of any kind. Everything is within some kind of a sealed, whether it be a 3-pack blister, whether it be a collection box. Everything is sealed. They're not going to be like single loose packs. So I don't know. The real answer to it is that yes, it will be worth keeping. It just really what's bothering me is the prices that we're seeing for these. These are like crazy prices right now. And because the prices are so crazy, if you buy at these crazy prices, that will be a very long hold. That's the only thing. That is the only thing. I hope that helped, as confusing as that might have sounded. But yes, they would do well. It just depends on what the price point of which you buy them. Shoot your shot, Rev. That some round would be a huge come up worth 80. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I said it's worth it. It just sucks that he's just outside of their standards. Best apps for pre-grading. I don't use an app. I use a loop magnifier, which is kind of for like jewels, right? But when you buy it, so this is it right here, right? And it has a button. You click it. There's a magnifying glass on this side. You click it. There's a light. There's like a little blue light, which I don't use at all. But I think it's dying. Well, because I have to charge it. But the point is, it comes with another piece inside. You can swap them. It comes with several. This one, for example, the one that I have in here has a like it looks like a grid, but it has measurements on it. I don't know if you guys can't see them at all. Hell no. So this piece, you can see that line. You can kind of almost see like a XY axis line. It almost looks like there's numbers there. There's numbers. There's measurements, um, and so I use those to gauge where like what the centering is on the cards because clearly PSA has a ratio, right? So for example, I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know what they represent. Does it have the it doesn't. If I look it up, it probably would tell me. But for example, each border, both borders combined sum up 5 of whatever that measurement is, whether it be like millimeters. I don't know what the number is, right? It's definitely not millimeters, but whatever. It's 5. With the math that I've done, if I have a border that's 2.3 and the other side is 2.7, that is the maximum discrepancy, like difference between the two numbers. If it goes to 2.2 to 2.8 between the borders, I've already exceeded that 55 to 45 ratio. So now I'm outside of PSA standards. The 2.3 to 2.7 puts me at 54% to 46% ratio. So that's what I use to look at the borders. I just use this little device and I just do the math because I'm assuming they're doing the math if they're providing us with ratios uh to meet their standards, right? Their ratio is 55 to 45 max, and anything within that, well, right, if you get to 50-50, it's perfect. So anything below 45, 50, that 55 and above the 45, if you stay within those two, um, you're within that 55 to 45 ratio. So that's what I do, right? And on top of that, you use your eyes, a light. One thing I don't have that I need to get is a blue light to look at, like, possible things, like whether it be some kind of a residue on the card. Um, and then just you could use your eyes, you could use your phone light to look at like scratches and things like that. But in reality, right, if you look at cards, too bad. I can't really reach for them. I mean, you could tell the difference between the cards that I've graded and the cards that I've put to the side that I deemed out, that say like outside of the standards of what PSA has put as their standards. You could tell that there's a difference there. And you could tell uh that loop magnifier actually is making a huge difference, and it works. Now, you will also notice that when you're, for example, when I have a card that is just within those standards, right? And it's something that I was going to talk about in the Discord because we had this discussion. Reverend Rips showed a picture of a Umbreon in a slab, and he told everybody blindly, he didn't show the grade, told everybody to grade the card. I gave it a 9, right? I don't have the card in person. I'm not measuring it, but by eye, it looked like a 9. It looked like it was right heavy. Um, and he ended up showing us it was a 10. It was a PSA 10. But it was visibly right heavy. So, but I did notice that the cards that I do end up getting with a 2.3 to 2.7 ratio, which was putting me at 54 to 46 ratio, um, you could tell the difference, like that right heavy to left heavy, but it's still within their standards. And believe it or not, it's always been that. If anything, PSA recently last year got more stringent with their standards. I think they were at 60/40 before. PSA isn't the most strict company out there. They're just a company that everybody has dumped all their money into, and so they can't risk devaluing all the things that they've put money into, right? So yeah, you will see some 10s that look like they're right heavy, and some people think to themselves that it's not a 10, but it is a 10. It's within their standards, which is 55 to 45. But the thing is that you don't realize that that little difference from 54 to a 46 ratio, that's almost 10% of a border. And when you take 10% of one border and put it onto the other side of the border, that one border looks 20% larger than the other, because not only did you add on 10% to one side, you deducted 10% from the other. So it looks that much bigger. The difference ends up looking like it wouldn't be a 10, but it's within the standards. And that's why that Umbreon that he sent us in that picture looked so off. It's something that I was realizing as I was pre-grading more and more and more. Some of them, they're within the standards, but they're heavier on one side than the other because they're not perfect. Most of the cards that you're going to submit are not perfect. And if you have a card that's 50-50 ratio, both left and right and top to bottom, bro, that should be going to BGS anyways. That should be going to BGS to get a black label for an extremely well, perfect, like just outstanding card, right? Just a perfect, immaculate card when it comes to centering. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, that's not going to be the case. You're not going to have a card worth sending to BGS. But I don't use an app. If you try to use an app, I'm not going to say that apps won't help you, but if you take an image of a card at a specific angle, the camera is going to see one side of that card thicker, like when it comes to the border, thicker than the other, because you're not at a perfect angle. And it's pretty hard to get a perfect picture with an app. So I just rather do it myself that way. I guess you could use an app to start you off, but if you really, really want to take advantage and not lose money, because every card you submit is going to cost you money, I would suggest something like this. I hope that helps. Only 5,800 Sumbreon PSA 10 with how much prismatic we got is crazy. Almost 20K graded. Yeah, yeah. It is really hard to pull. You know, I also feel like we did get a lot, but a lot of people are holding prismatic. There's a lot out there, man. A lot of prismatic out there. Like, I could have a Umbreon behind me somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But you'll never know. You'll never know. A PSA 9 in Umbreon is still more than raw. I mean, it should be. A PSA 9 is only giving you it's not giving you condition of the card. It's only that it's a little off center. But the condition of the card could still be immaculate while the centering could be a little off. It still should be more than the raw card because a raw card can be damaged. It could have scratches. It could be light play. Tips for finding raw cards to grade online at shows, etc. Honestly, it's just taking your time, right? Like I showed some of these cards that I bought at the last card show, which honestly looked perfect. But I took my time, right? Like for example, this was one right here. Try not to clap too close to the mic so you guys can see. I'm going to take this card out of the sleeve. So I bought this Raichu at the card show. This thing looks like it's going to be hard for you guys to see it in the camera, and of course, I'm not a freaking robot, so I can't hold the card perfectly straight. Let me take the comment off. But I took my time, right? I took my time. Um, I did explain in my Discord, like with like these little videos, what I do, what I look for, especially in person without a tool. What I will do, for example, let me show this corner right here. I will come on, zoom into the card on the card. All right. Sometimes it like notices my face and it will zoom into my face. So I will look at this top border. I will purposely use the corners because the borders are right next to each other on the corners. So I'll use this corner, right? And I'll look at this top border in comparison to the border right next to it. Now, this one I don't really use because it has the evolution here, but I'll use this side, right? And then I'll look at this top border in comparison to the border that's right next to it. I'll look at these two borders. I'll do the same with every single border, right? But once I do that, if there is some kind of a discrepancy between the two borders, that means that the very, very same exact thing is happening on the opposite end, right? Diagonally. So if it's happening on this border, it's happening down here. So if this border is thicker than sorry, if this border is thicker than this border, then that means that this border is going to be thicker than this border. There's going to be it's going to happen on the opposite end in the opposite manner, and so then that means that the card is going to be off center. Um, for you to determine exactly how much off center it is, like whether it's gradable or not, you would need a tool, but you could still use your eyes to see that and to pick out like the card that look perfect. Like I said, this one looks like really good. This Raichu looks really good. Honestly, I almost didn't buy it because it was $120. Um, Even though I had told the girl that was at the booth, she was covering for her boyfriend. He went to the bathroom, and she said that they just bought it like an hour ago. Somebody sold it to them, and I was like, "Wow, it's $120. That's crazy." That looks like a 10. Like that looks like a gradable card. And I asked her, "Does your boyfriend grade?" And she said, "Yeah, sometimes." And I was like, "Well, when he comes back, I'm pretty sure that if you tell him what I just told you, he'll probably agree that it's a 10." I walked down 2 tables. I saw the Raichu in a slab, and it was $950. I walked right back and bought it. I was like, the just the multiple on that was absolutely insane. So I walked back and bought it. But yeah, there were several cards that I did that. These were all done with my eyes, and they looked well centered. And it was the same thing. I just keep looking at each corner. If there's discrepancy when I look at the two corners, the two borders side by side at that corner, since they're so close, I use the corners like that. Um, yeah, like I said, if there's a difference, a discrepancy there, then that means it's happening on the opposite end. And of course, don't forget to look at the back. Look at the back. Look for whitening. The whitening stands out on the blue. That's the simplest thing to do, but people forget. Just make sure you look at the back. Um, but yeah, that's just what I do. Hopefully that helps. Finding graded cards online. I do stupid things. I'm not gonna lie. I I said this during my last live. If I Where is this thing? I can't find it. I can't find it. I had like a little measuring tool somewhere. I don't know where it went. But I have literally I have literally put like a little measuring tool. I forgot what it was. I don't know, a damn protractor or something that had like a scale on it, like a little ruler. For example, if you had like a ruler that measured like 6 inches long, I'd actually zoom in on my phone. Let me see if I could. It's gonna sound stupid, but I don't care. I do whatever I can to not waste my money. I'm just gonna pick any random card on eBay real quick, and I'm gonna pick one that you can clearly see things well. So I will literally zoom this thing in like this. This is a border of a card. This is one of the borders. I will measure this and then literally just scroll to the other side, magnify it all the way, and measure this border. And I'll do it like that if I'm buying on eBay. I'm not kidding. That's what I do online on eBay because it allows you to zoom in, even on a computer. Even on a computer, you can zoom in, right? If I go on eBay right now, if I go on eBay, right, this thing, you just maximize it like this. It allows you to zoom in, right? I can still see this thing very clearly. I can see damage on it. These lines right here are not from a print line. This is from him scanning the card, right? This is from the scans. You'll be able to see that because they use a scanner. But I would easily take a measuring tool and put it on my screen and do the very same exact thing. Then I can look at that. I can look at the back. I can look at all the corners zoomed in. I can inspect everything this very same way. This is the best you can do on here. The only thing with things on eBay is that um you can't see if they're scratching on the hull or anything like that. But if there's a card that comes damaged, you could always just get a refund. You could always let them know, listen, it came damaged. You didn't show that in the card. You know, you should have just shown that in the card. You should have been honest. Now, recently, I bought one of these Lapras. Do I have it here in the stack? I know I got it close by. I just don't know if I have it in the stack. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's right here. Perfect. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it though. So this Lapras, I don't know if it got scratched. I don't know if it was like just a like horrible print lines. But I told the guy, like, listen, you didn't show this in your images. I don't know why you did or didn't. But it does. I do see some scratches here, and I let him know. Listen, there's scratches here. You never expose this in your thing. I would like a refund. I don't know if you guys can see it. There are some scratches. I'm gonna try to. There's a print line right there by my finger. Right here, you guys should be able to see that because I can see it on the camera. There's a print line right there, or something. There's a line right by Lapras's ear going down, like halfway down the card. There's another one on the opposite end, right? There's another one on this end over here by the little Lapras. Will you guys be able to see it? I don't know. You guys won't be able to see it. It's fine. There are two huge ones, right? The one by the Lapras. So the one on the first ear comes all the way down to here. The next one comes all the way down to here from the top, both of them from the top. And then there are like seven other ones spread out across the top that only come up to like here. But this all automatically, I'm pretty sure this won't get a 10. It sucks because this card is pretty well centered. But I asked for a refund. Just so happened that he gave me a refund and doesn't want the card back because it's going to cost too much money to get it sent back to him. He lives in Hawaii, Honolulu. And he said it would cost too much to send it back. He said, just keep the card. And he refunded me. The point is, that's not something that I was hoping for. I actually told him that I wanted to send him the card back. And he said, no, that it would cost too much. So it is what it is. But you can get a refund if the card comes back damaged. So you just do the best you can when it comes to centering. Damage, you send it back. That's it. I know that it's a hassle to send something back in the mail. Just do it. Don't waste your money. The biggest issue I've seen with prismatic SIR is a lot of them in the backs are cooked. A lot of white chipping. I don't know. I have two. I actually pulled them in a rip and ship in Alex's in the Nostalgianomics. I pulled a Jolteon and a Sylveon through there, but they're actually perfect. Nothing wrong. I saw the PSA 10 Gengar from Perfect Order for 350. Gotta love the bata sets too. Oh my god, why? You know, I'm happy for you but I'm disappointed in the next person. Like, why are people buying these things from Perfect Order? You know how many of those Gengars you pull when you open up Perfect Order? It's so crazy, man. One thing that you and Rudy and I have in common is not taking risks on hype products way overpriced. You're not supposed to. In reality, you're not supposed to. The higher the value, the higher the risk, right? Especially when you include hype. If something has risen just off of hype alone, it means that it can drop so quickly, and people don't take it into account. They just dive into this stuff with their emotions, and they just fall headfirst into the hype, and this is how people get hurt sometimes. Totally agree about price entry, Jay. Why I love prismatic products I can buy at $12 a pack or less. Yeah, 3-pack whistlers. Actually, I need to buy some for my girl to rip. Actually, her birthday's next week too. That might be a good, nice thing, part of her birthday gift. Even though I've wasted a ton of money, not wasted, spent a ton of money already, but she doesn't know that. Uh, all I'm saying is I'd rather much snag prismatic ETBs at 170 than 30th UPCs at 500. Yeah, listen, I see your point. I don't disagree with that at all. I think prismatic is going to be great down the line. Honestly, prismatic is close to being out of print. That would be a 500 plus ETB in 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I believe it. That's what I think, at least. Once prismatic is gone, prices will run up fast. All eBay. Oh, nice, from the comfort of your own home. Nice, the 19K from eBay. With God pack sets, 3-pack blisters are a safe product to buy to open. Don't have to worry about people weighing packs, etc. Yeah. Prismatic and Ascended Tag Team alternate artwork. Yeah, that would be nice. Nice. You took. I got one. I still need the one with the crystal. I still need the other reverse. There's two. Remember, there's two of each. I still need one. Daniel, thank you for the super chat, man. Damn. I should have. There's no way for me to notice on StreamYard when I'm looking at the comments. There is one way, but it's hard to notice that one thing. I would have answered your super chat as soon as possible, but I'm half an hour away. I apologize. Tips on finding raws, and this is the same thing you were saying before. You tried to super chat me just because I was taking too long for your comment. I'm sorry. Tips on finding raws. eBay shows the grade. Are there certain cards to target? Curious to know if this is patched. Oh, so certain cards to target. So, depending on sets that are being released, yeah, for sure. You can I've been picking up Lucario cards because there's going to be a Lucario set coming out in January. This Rayquaza set that everybody keeps talking about, it was actually leaked sometime last year, so people have been buying Rayquaza cards for the last year and a month now, or something like that. So it's pretty hard to keep up with everything else that's happening when it comes to that. But everything else that hasn't been leaked, you probably have a decent opportunity to try to catch up with. And then, other than that, I would just say pick up cards that are popular, right? If you want to actually target cards whether it be for long-term growth, whether it be to grade for now, just stick to the popular Pokemon. That being Pikachu, Charizard, Umbreon, some of the legendaries, Rayquaza, Latias, the Gen 1 starters, whether it be Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, things like that. Gen 1, 2, and 3 are great, especially with their starters. Gen 4 is pretty good as well. Gen 5 has been getting a lot more love now with Black Bolt. But yeah, things like that. Popular Pokemon, once a set gets leaked, for example, or revealed, for example, we did get the Aurora Seeker. We knew that Lucario was going to be the main chase in the set, or the main Pokemon in the set. You could pick up Lucario cards, like I have been. I'm just grabbing some that are next to me, so I have like all of these Lucario cards next to me right now, right? Because I've been picking them up just for that purpose, right? Expecting them, or speculating at least, that they're going to rise in value when the set does come out. So if you could do that, if you could pick up cards in advance, like once, like if a set name got revealed tomorrow and we knew the Pokemon, like if just by hearing the title we could tell what Pokemon's going to be in there, you should start trying to go on eBay and start buying some of them up right away. Because I promise you, you wait a little too long and people are going to buy them up like crazy. And it's going to increase the prices of those cards. It's going to make it harder for you to buy. You're going to spend more money. and then the good cards that are worth grading are going to be gone because people are going to buy those up first. So that's the best you can do when it comes to online. And then those are, of course, the best you can do with targeting popular Pokemon. I've spoken about it so many times. Like even if I look at this stack right here, right, and let's say if I just let me just remove the Lucario cards. Where did I just put them? Just to get them out of here, right? If you look at this stack of cards that I've been ordering from eBay or picking up at shows, you'll see that every single one of these is some kind of a popular Pokemon, right? Like this is a Sun and Moon promo that actually no one talks about, Latias, right? Then I am just speculating that eventually we're going to get a Mega Metagross. So I've started picking up some Metagross as well because it's one of the most popular Mega Pokemon out there, and we are in the Mega Block. Then Gengar, of course, popular Pokemon from Ascended Heroes with the Mega Tech Rare. Groudon being the top chase and very popular as well in Paradox Rift. Eevee, easy pickup, popular Pokemon. Altaria, just a card that I've been wanting. This is just for my personal, but people still there is a decent fan base for Altaria. Kingdra, this promo is just popular because what it's done in Scarlet and Violet. But then we move on, right? Lapras, a very popular Pokemon. This is a 151 card. Also, 151 is going through the roof, so that's an easy pickup. This is a Pikachu. This is a Chinese exclusive Pikachu promo, right? So it's Pikachu. It's an exclusive promo. It's like I said, a popular Pokemon, easy to pick up, and it's exclusive, right? Raichu, of course, I showed you guys that. Latias again. Zekrom, legendary Pokemon, very popular as well. This card is also pretty hard to grade, but when you do get a 10, it's like $500 and it costs $10 per card, or like 12 depending on where you buy it. I've just been chasing this card right here. Ignore that one, even though it is a Gen 3 starter, still a very popular Pokemon. That card, actually, even though it's really hard to find right now in good condition because it's really old, is very valuable in a 10. I think that card is like $900 to $1,000 in a 10. I can't remember. But once again, it's Latias. And then these are vending series cards, just part of like Pokemon history. Just nice to pick up some other cards. Another Lapras. Just once again, popular Pokemon and things like that. Just trying to stay on track with popular Pokemon at all times. And if you want to pick up something to flip quickly, try to grab the cards that are related to the newer sets with the most popular card in there, right? So that's that. I hope that helps, man. Thank you for the super chat. Open blisters to collection boxes. Hold on. I think I took so long explaining that stuff. We had 35 people in the live, and they all left. We're at 11. That must have bored them, but it's all good, man. Honestly, even if you didn't super chat, I just want to let you know if you're still here. I hope you're still here. That I still would have given you the time to respond to you, but I appreciate it. Open blisters to collection boxes. Hold or rotate ETB mini tin displays and bundles. Is that your suggestion? That's what you think? The ETB is great. Mini tin displays, if you can get the displays, which is probably going to be crazy in the bundles. Yeah, that works for a lot of sets overall. Thinking about cracking my old case of Fusion to look at the boxes. Wow, you don't want to just sell the case? You don't want to just sell the sealed case? That all these older cases have an insane sealed premium. And look at Poke Painter. I wouldn't do it. Yeah. It's I don't know, man. That sealed premium, I wouldn't want to lose it. What most people cannot do is admit they missed the boat. I don't buy $500 boxes. It will take much longer to double. Put that 500 into clean cards, grade them, and you will win faster. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Things that reach a certain price point, at a certain point, okay, if you wanted to have a position in something that already had a $500 value. If you wanted it just because you wanted it and you wanted to secure that for your own investment goals or collection goals, that's fine. But if we're talking about ROI, what's going to appreciate the fastest? It probably won't be that $500 box. Honestly, they're probably going to take a lot longer to appreciate. Outside of the outliers like Destined Rivals, even that right now is in question, right? We don't know what it's going to do for the rest of the year. We are already past half of the year, and it really hasn't done that much this year as it did compared to last year. So, for sure. As the price rises, less people can afford to buy the thing, and the people that can afford to buy the thing will often already know people with that thing for sale and already trust them. Yeah, Yes, I've said this many times as well. Um, just opened the Paldea Evolved case. Half of the boxes had bad seals. Oof. Yeah, leave that alone. Fudge said, "Good point." That's kind of why I want to know. Yeah, but why? You're gonna lose value. Well, the moment you first off, the moment you open that case, you lose value, right? And then if they are damaged, now each box is less valuable because once it was sealed, nobody knew. You didn't know. That was left to be determined by the person who opened it. Man, we need a new armored Mewtwo card. Yes, I love that. Even in Japanese, I'm actually currently I forget. There's so many things that I want to pick up, but I am currently looking at that card in Japanese because I just want that in my collection, and it's pretty valuable in Japanese as well. Oh shit! And why you in Queens? Yes, I am in Queens actually. Are you in New York? In Queens, I guess you're asking me if I'm in Queens. Yeah, I'm in Queens, man. I'm born and raised in Queens. People entering at Mega, Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black will take years for the product to grow. Yeah, if you, especially if you're buying, I don't think I bought Pitch Black, but buying Pitch Black at 300 is a bad idea. If you could have bought Pitch Black before the hype came into it, before it was revealed, like when the leak came out, if you bought it that same day, which is what I did, that was probably your best opportunity outside of those that can get it for MSRP. Buying at 300 right now probably it's probably gonna suck. Though they are smaller sets, I did want to have a goal though moving forward as, of having at least one booster box case of each set moving forward. Right, I didn't want to go crazy. I think a booster box case is more than enough. So I just wanted that advice in my investments moving forward. I could just sell it at 6K and bet. Yes, exactly. That's what I would do for sure. New Armored Mewtwo is a must. Yeah, that would be crazy. I was so mad at myself. I knew better, but wasn't thinking clearly. Like I got paid only 90. Yeah, yeah. 90 per box. I got it. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Three of the boxes were not sealed all the way up the side. That's crazy. The reason is because Dick's, Academy, Lowe's, Home Depot, and others like that are getting their share now. The pie has gotten smaller. Yeah, that and all the streamers. Have you gone on Whatnot and seen the people getting product there? I showed you guys in my last stream, right? That I know a streamer that I watch all the time that he's had Pitch Black. So if Pitch Black releases on the 17th, he's had Pitch Black for like a month and a week before it's been released. So you can imagine he's been doing that rip and ship since that day, moving forward every single day. So there are plenty of mouths to feed these days in comparison to before. It's double devices that have a case of Paldea too. That's too funny. Pokemon is so crazy right now. I just started collecting in November, and this hobby got me making Pokemon social media accounts. Yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't hurt, right? You may succeed. Might as well. The only people who have a 0% chance of succeeding are those that don't try. Give it a shot. It's free. It's a free thing to do. Create a social media account. You may blow up. You may be that one guy. You may be. It's facts that special sets are special. Absolutely love Ascended and Prismatic, Paldean Fates, 151, Crown Zenith. They're built different. The set you want to rip a lot and keep sealed. Yeah, 100%. That's why I've preached those 3-pack blisters. People are going to want to be able to rip those sets. And 3-pack blisters are going to be the easy access for it. Yeah, better off sending the case of Proboscene and buying a mint box. 100%. The popularity link is awesome on the mobile app. I found so many unknowns. Oh, you're talking about the popularity? Yeah, yeah. On the price charting app. That price charting app is really handy. People look down on it, but it's really handy. You could look at what people are currently looking at right now. Like I said, it points out the Froakie, the Clefairy, all the cards that we've been talking about in our Discord that we like and we believe in are popping up on that list. So it's useful. I'm so used to selling stuff myself. I forgot about consignment. Thanks again. Yeah. Clefairy is going to be a $50 card. Yeah, I think so. It's one of the best cards in perfect order, which is crazy to say. Kind of reminds you of the Magikarp, but a much better gem rate. Definitely not as good of an art, but just that an IR can be that good. Honestly, I think it's the best card in that set. Gross. Get some fucking cologne. Yeah, man, for real. Normalize just shaming people that smell like card shows. People that don't respect other people by taking a shower needs to be called out and publicly shamed. It's not always not taking a shower. Sometimes bad body odor comes from not eating healthy, and so your body produces those smells because you're not eating healthy at all. You actually need like a cleanse. You need to start eating things like spinach, onions, things that will help cleanse you. Um, but I would not say I would not embarrass somebody in public like that. I wouldn't do it. But I would be looking out for myself. Like if I go to a show and I'm going to be there for 8 hours and I'm going to be presentable, there's things that I'm going to have. Maybe I'll have some breath mints. Maybe I will take a break and do what I said. Take a pack of wipes. Maybe I'll go put on some deodorant again if I do feel like I need to like freshen up somehow just for the remainder of the show. And yeah, why not have like a cheap cologne? There's a lot of cheap colognes that are actually good quality colognes that are very affordable. You could just spray on. Maybe even some Axe body spray, even though I hate Axe body spray, but just something. Yeah, over 1K, 5%. I've always had great experience with Probostine, usually list a day. Get it and send me a check within 24 hours. Auction ends. That's sick. I didn't know they responded that quickly. A check in 24 hours is crazy. I work at 9 to 5. I'll never catch a drop, so I bought from GameStop. No. Damn. It guarantees you get product. Good for you. That sucks, man. Still waiting for those Dollar General exclusive Ascended Heroes ETBs. I haven't stopped at Dollar General once. Not in a long time. Yeah, exactly. Up or down don't matter. I'll have both Virgin UPC, 2 ETBs. So expensive though. I I think I saw somebody saying I saw a picture. Maybe you guys can check. I have not gone to GameStop in a long time. I saw an image of somebody pre-ordering the 30th ETBs at GameStop and they were $65 each. Check it out. Maybe you could try, just ask. It won't hurt to ask. Just to not pay the 2,500 to learn. Yeah. 2,500 to these. That's so crazy. I think they did a video or a live. I didn't watch the live, but I clicked on the comments and people were still scolding them. And I guess in that live, they doubled down on that 2,500 on the course. Like they doubled down on it. I guess they said things about it, like still pushing it. And the comments were like eating them alive. Jay, I'm having an off day. Chill, bro. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Bro, I ain't buying at those prices. The heck, rather take advantage of buying all the things everyone else will be selling to get the 30th. Yeah, for sure. That's a good idea too. Jay, Luma, the 25th UPC. It took 5 years to get to 1K. Yeah. Oh, look at you. Want me to show it here? I got you. Let's see if it comes up right here in price charting that easy. 25th celebrations. Let's just look at that. It should bring up everything. It will bring up everything if I spell celebrations properly. Let's see. No, I brought up a card. Why did I bring up a card? Let's go here. Pokemon celebrations. Um, where is the UPC? The collector chest is here. That's here. Oh, because I have exclude sealed. All right. Here we go. I can show that to you guys real quick. So there you go. And I guess there's only data here up until January 2022. Well, it was still 250 at the time. In early January, I mean early 22, it was 250. And in all that time, it rose up to what was it? What was the peak there? 381 and came back down 309, 315, 300, came back down to 300 and finally during this high period is where it started taking off. Just like we saw with Fusion. Same thing. Yeah, I hope people are aware. I don't listen. Pokemon has really changed as of late. I do believe there is a legit argument for Pokemon staying like as what it is. And I don't mean it has to be demand or hype through the roof, but I think there's an argument for us not having a bear market like we had in the past. The reason being is because I think there's so much money that has been dumped into Pokemon by investors and as such, and I think it's gonna like insulate the market. I think it's gonna insulate the market and prop up prices and just hold them up, and it's not gonna allow them to drop as much as we've seen before, and we may not be seeing those price points ever again. But we never know what's gonna happen. But there is an argument, a legit argument that that may happen. But even so, even at higher price points, these things are going to take time to appreciate. Um, Back kid in bed, got me some Johnny Walker Black Label. Wow. Painting models and Pokemon chat in the background. Good evening at work. Nice. You're painting models to like sell, or are these just for fun, drunk? I'm sorry, I'm really behind. Holy crap. I'm 36 minutes behind chat. I gotta hurry up. Okay. It really helps when you get the investing hobby, feeds the hobby mindset. Pro sealed, pro slabs. No, we can't be naive to where the hobby is now at 89.99. Yeah, for sure. Everything's changed. Thanks for the advice. Any sets or products to avoid in your opinion? I see the hype in things like Evolving Skies, booster boxes, but scared of resealers or scams. Yeah, those older ones, it has happened. People have been scammed. Once again, there are multiple videos out there to show you what booster boxes that are legit look like. Um, but the best thing you can do is find a trusted seller, right? That's why they have trusted sellers on both TCG Player and on eBay. Um, Sets to avoid, for sure, perfect order. Honestly, right now, you could avoid for somebody who is just new, and if you're gonna want like banger sets, you could avoid the recent ones. You could avoid uh Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black. Perfect Order by far being the absolute worst one. I did invest into Chaos Rising and Pitch Black because even if you look back at history with Pokemon, even the worst sets perform. Now, I'm not saying Chaos Rising and Pitch Black are the worst. I'm just saying they're not as good as things like Prismatic Evolutions, Ascended Heroes, the top tier sets. They're just not as good as the top tier sets. And a lot of people like to focus on specifically just the top tier sets. So if you did want to do that, of course, that could be the way to go. You will see signs, for example, like you will see content on top of content over and over. Like the Rayquaza set is one that you could probably be anticipating to be one of the ones to buy into. Um, but we need to see first what's going to be in it. Hopefully, Pokemon does not mess up that Rayquaza card. That Rayquaza card is probably still going to be amazing. They're probably going to do a really good job. Um, and the fact that it's Rayquaza alone is going to do really good for it. Rayquaza is a very, very popular Pokemon. The fan base for Rayquaza is like really hardcore. So that's one that you could be looking into for sure. Other than that, of course, Ascended Heroes, Prismatic Evolutions, Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals is very expensive right now, though. Um, but Ascended Heroes and Prismatic Evolutions are two specialty sets that are pretty good purchases when it comes to like investing for what we think, at least, in my opinion, in the most of the market's opinion, those are some top tier sets to buy into. But what else? The other ones, slow growth from the Scarlet and Violet era. Even though I have some Journey Together is going to be a slow grower. Twilight Masquerade will be decent. Paldea Evolved, but these are all some that have already appreciated a decent amount. You are new here. If you're patient, if you're willing to take your time, it's really what I would advise. I don't know how long you plan on being around in Pokemon. I would advise that you take your time and start from here moving forward, um, and pick up the Rayquaza set. The only two things that I would say that you could look back and pick up is Ascended Heroes and Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic Evolutions goes out of rotation next year in March, I believe. Was it March or April? I can't remember. It goes out of rotation around that time. So Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, I think, will be great pickups for anyone right now. So there's that, and then Ascended Heroes ETBs, if they take a dip, they'll be pretty good pickups. We don't know how much Ascended Heroes we're gonna get. Of course, everything has been postponed due to the 30th anniversary. And so we don't know how much we're gonna get. If we don't get more, this is gonna be the price. It's not gonna drop any further. So Prismatic and Ascended Heroes is what I would recommend. Prismatic does rotate out first. Ascended Heroes, in my opinion, is a better set though. So, but both S tier sets. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I use a phone stand and a level for picks though, not for grading. For, for picks. What do you mean? Oh, you mean because you're listing because you're listings. I understand what you're saying now. Just drop my centering picture of the Umbreon in the Discord. Let's see. In the singles, I'm assuming. This is the app. So he's using, somebody asked about an app. He's using one of those apps here. and it kind of gives you the numbers with the apps. So wait, why does the left to right look a little off? I'm going to show this thing on the screen. Can I drag this or what? Okay. So this is what he sent for the Umbreon. This app, I forgot what it's called. I don't use it though. I don't like the apps. I'd rather use my eyes. But it gives you your left to right at 50% and 50%, and then your top to bottom 56 to 43%. And this is where we were talking about. PSA standards are max on the bigger border be 55% or lower. And then the other one would, of course, take up the rest of the percentage. But when you look at these apps, for example, is what I'm talking about, you could see that this line, this inner line, is actually a little far inside, so it's off. It's so weird how the way that that's working. Look what it's doing, and it's because it's an image that's being taken. So it's doing this a little weird right here. It's not lining up perfectly with his picture. For that reason, I don't like the apps. This is why we're humans, so we don't take perfect still pictures. Um, but yeah, this is what he's talking about. He's considering sending this in. Um, Rev, don't you have one of those tools? I know you have one of them. Are you not using it? Are you not doing the math yourself? Well, if you did do it, are the numbers coming out the same as they are with the app, or no? Or you just haven't used your magnifier, your loop magnifier yet? You don't have to win 100%. The more you do it, the better you get. The more difficult the gem rate is, the more risk. Learn to set with terrible gem rates. Yeah, that works as well. I mean, Paldea Evolved. I don't know if Paldea Evolved is succeeding because of the bad gem rates. I think the Pokemon in there are somewhat popular as well. There's a lot of popular Pokemon in there. I don't know. Paldea Evolved is just a good set, and it's really deep as well. So it's hard to tell. Scarlet and Violet Base has the worst gem rates, and it's not performing nearly as good as other sets. So I don't know. Sometimes it can work. If you can see low gem rate with popular Pokemon, I think that's where you hit gold. Um, Thanks for giving such thorough answers, bro. You make gold content. Thank you, bro. I'm just glad people appreciate it, including you, of course. Um, yeah, thank you for the super chat. Like I said before, anytime you ask questions, I'll be here to ask. I have no problem with it. This is a normal thing here on the stream. We're here to help each other if we can, for sure. Those trainer gallery cards are so hard to grade. Why the go for so much money? Which ones? What trainer gallery cards go for so much money? I don't. You know what's funny? You're saying that, but I think trainer gallery cards are really undervalued, right? If we look up, I've been looking at trainer gallery cards from Brilliant Stars, and they're really not expensive. I think they're really undervalued, honestly. And the gem rates are actually not bad at all. I think this one has like a 50% gem rate. It's $100 on raw. It's around 100. I think it's like 110 on eBay right now. But look at it at a PSA 10, 288. Even with that growth from the hype cycle, like it never really grew that much. And even though it is freaking Umbreon, I don't. I almost feel like I could justify buying this slab just for my personal collection. Um, it is at an all-time high, of course. Actually, the all-time high was 315, but it's up there. It's getting close at 288. It's climbing. Um, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. I saw some listings at 110, 120. Yeah. So 90s. So I think this card is really undervalued, honestly. When it comes to a trainer gallery, this card right here, I think you guys when I clicked on my eBay page, you guys saw this. Like this card popped up a lot because I've been looking at this card a lot. I just bought one. I'm about to buy two more, I think. I really like this card, and of course, it's Umbreon, and I think these Umbreon cards are really undervalued. Um, Raw, they're not selling for 67 right now. I mean, it says 67, but they're really selling for more. I don't know why it's not showing. I think it's not showing all the sales because I definitely bought one for like $80 recently, and it's not here. Um, but PSA 10 is at 318. It's still not that expensive for an Umbreon. Umbreon cards usually get crazy. But like I said before, the gem rates are not bad. So we go to the PSA 10 listings just to look at um see original listing, 7,580 out of 14,785. So this is a little above a 50% gem rate for this card. So not a low gem rate at all. But even though it's not a low gem rate, it's a really popular Pokemon. I think this slab right here, in comparison to other ones, even with the high gem rate, I think it's undervalued, honestly. I do really think it's undervalued. And then if we look at even the other one, the VMAX, it's very similar as well. If we look at the tens, so listing real quick, just look at the pops. Original listing, 13,462 out of 19. I was wrong. Sorry, this one was way higher. Out of 19,013. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. This is more like a 75 to 80% freaking gem rate, like a 75% gem rate for this card. At least for the ones that have been graded. We don't ever, we call this the gem rate, but this is only the gem rate of what has been submitted. We don't ever take into account all the cards that have not been submitted, because when I was looking on this on eBay for this card as well, and a lot of them are off center. So of course they just don't get graded. But I think a lot of these cards in the trainer galleries are really, really undervalued. This card right here, I think is undervalued as well. Mimikyu has been growing more and more popular. It is one of the most popular Pokemon out there right now. 376 in a 10, which is not horrible. But compared to the raw value, we've seen bigger gains, right? Original listing, 5,614 out of 10,220, about 50% gem rate. So the gem rates are high, but the Pokemon are still really popular. I'm surprised that they're this low. This Sylveon is on all of these. Like Sylveons are undervalued. This is a beautiful card too. Like I love this card, and I can't believe that this card is at that value. PSA 10 for this card is $195. Crazy. Trainer gallery cards I think are really undervalued. Now some of these other ones, this Eevee, it's $337, but raw it's 18 bucks. I don't even know like where people pull prices out of, how these market prices sometimes get determined, because this Mimikyu should have a higher value. This Sylveon should have a higher value. Even this Sylveon is beautiful too. This is a beautiful card as well. I cannot believe that it's at that value. Around $70 raw, $250 in a 10. I can't believe it. I think trainer gallery cards are actually really undervalued right now. Jay forgot to mention earlier, Mega Parade, next Japan high class set after Aura Seeker. Mega Parade, I haven't heard anything about that. Maybe it's something that I haven't heard of yet. I didn't see it get leaked. Where'd you see that? On Poke Beach? And that the name alone doesn't even tell me. Oh, I see it. When did this get revealed? Yesterday. I didn't see it. Here we are. Poke Beach. Mega Parade. So what are they anticipating? A new trademark for Mega X Mega Parade has been filed by Pokemon. It's registered under the same trademark categories that have been used for TCG set names and products in the past. The name sounds like Japan's annual high-class pack set, whose names always incorporate the TCG's current card mechanics, such as Mega Dream X, whatever, such as all these cards. The use of Parade also evokes Terrasso Festival, which released 2 years ago. Note that these trademark fillings sometimes omit TCG terminology from their names. For example, the trademark for Terrasso Festival EX was filed without the EX. Okay. We usually discover trademarks 6 months to a year before they go into use. So there's no telling when this could release. If it turns out to be a set, high-class pack sets historically released between November and early December. However, there doesn't appear to be room for another set this year, as Aurora Seeker is scheduled for late November. That said, the TCG's release schedule has been completely appended during the current mega block. Japan no longer releases subsets. English sets are now smaller and released every 2 months, and we've seen the first simultaneous global release of the 30th celebration. Perhaps the schedule for Japan's high-class set could change as well. So here you go. Storm Esmeralda, July 31st, September 16th, the 30th, October 16th, the 30th celebration card sets. November special deck, and then November 27th Aura Seeker Mega Parade, which is likely. Let's see. We'll see what happens. But they didn't reveal too much. I mean, you have this image here with all the mega cards, with the mega Pokemon, or many of them. I've said many times, there are a lot of mega Pokemon that have not been used, and a lot of very, very big ones like Mega Mewtwo, Mega Gyarados, Mega Ampharos, Mega Metagross. A lot of very, very popular ones. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't see that at all. Popular characters, cue cards. There are so many females in the hobby, and they love cue cards. Yeah, yep. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. I'm glad you appreciate it, man. We're all here to help, bro. Don't forget as well. I'm a regular person just like you. There's a lot of people in the chat as well that are well informed, and you can always ask them questions as well. I'm not saying you shouldn't ask me. You can always ask me. I will try my best. But there are also people that are always in the chat that are really well informed. And if you want to, like I always tell everybody, the Discord is in the description. A lot of the people that you're seeing in the chat are actually in the Discord. You can ask numerous questions. We talk about Pokemon investing. Mainly, the main talk as of late have been singles because sealed has been slow. But there's always people there ready to answer. And I'm also very active there as well. Nah, bro, you're giving a lot of knowledge in this live, especially from someone that doesn't know much about Pokemon singles market like that at all. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot at first. Anytime somebody says that they're new, I always just say, take your time, man. Take your time. You could watch one video, and that person will tell you 10 different things to pick up or that you could pick up. You could watch a very different video or from a very different person, and that person can give you a whole nother 10 different things that you could pick up that they believe are a good play right now. So take your time, you know, Pokemon with everything that's out and all the hype, it can feel incredibly overwhelming for anybody entering the market right now. So I would just say, just take it one day at a time. Just look at certain things at a time. Look at the things that are more valuable or make more sense, and just go with that first. And then later on, you'll get more used to it, and it'll become easier and easier. So, born and raised here too, bro. No way. QGT. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is, bro. But yeah, I was born and raised here. I'm originally from Corona, Queens. I'm no longer there. My brother, what's your most favorite card you own, regardless of price, and why? The most favorite card that I own. Oh, I mean, it's not cheap. The favorite card that I own is this one. It's the Dragonite from Evolving Skies. That's why I have the extended art case on it. But honestly, like I like a lot of cards. It's really hard for me to determine which is my absolute favorite card. Um, but I do love that Dragonite a lot. Dragonite is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. But like I did pull the Bubble Mew, beautiful card. I don't know. And to be honest, I lose track of everything I own. I have a lot of freaking cards. Like aside from whatever I had, like I just showed you like this stack, right? I just showed you this stack of cards. Like even within here, like there are beautiful cards. And I can't really, like that, like I've been picking up several copies of this card right here. I think this is a very undervalued card. Latias is a very, very loved Pokemon. And this is a very beautiful art. It's a really cute card with a very popular Pokemon. I'm surprised it's valued at what it's valued at right now. But I've been trying to pick some of those up right now, for example. I love that card too. But I think right now, looking around, it's that Dragonite card. That Dragonite probably second to that is my Charizard fighting Mewtwo promo. Stay cool, man. I'm in New Jersey. We're getting cooked by the sea. Yeah, today was crazy. Today was today today I told my coworker, if you need me, call me. I'll be I'll be in a cafe, and I stayed in a cafe the whole day in a diner. I don't care. Not today. Today was way too crazy. Way too crazy. Do not want anything to do with Whatnot. Well, I use Whatnot for several things. I use Whatnot for the Rip and Shipper. So when I've done my pull rate videos in the past, what I do is I watch the Rip and Shipper rip like 1,000 packs, and then I do the math and I use that for that as well. And also there are really trusted sellers on whatnot as well. Yeah, the heat today. Yeah, the heat today was crazy. That cafe that I was in, it was starting to get like there was AC on, but it was starting to get like overcome by the heat, just like almost like penetrating through the glass that was there. Pokemon and Ed's Poke deodorant. Oh my god. I was like, "What are you saying that?" I thought that was a person's name. I pre-ordered at $65. My son and I each got 2. Pre-ordered what? What'd you pre-order? Have the Pikachu. I think it will 10, but I'm unsure to get it graded at PSA or hold or sell. So, a card of high value like that, I would be willing to submit to PSA at that $80 price point. The only thing I don't like about PSA is that they're gonna upcharge you, right? They're gonna charge you for insurance, and so you're gonna have to pay. I don't know what the price point is that's gonna be for that Pikachu because I think it's like isn't that thing like $4,000 in a 10? I don't know, but the $80 price point is worth submitting a card that expensive right now. Release day of the 30th will be the lowest price we will play. Just saying, yeah, I think so. When you catch up to this perfect order is fantastic. Listen, one thing I will say is that we all like most of us know that everything in Pokemon tends to appreciate regardless of the set. And the one set that I keep talking about, I talk about too often actually. Shroud of Fable and Journey Together. They get so much negativity thrown at them, so much bad things being said about those sets. And regardless of what people want to say, Journey Together is still $275 per booster box. And all those singles in Shroud of Fable have absolutely skyrocketed. So yeah. Phantasmal Flames would be trash without this art. 100%. Specialty set typically are the best to invest in. Um, yes and no, I think. I don't know. For me, it's like yes and no. Yeah, for me, it's yes and no. It really depends on the set. It depends on the Pokemon in there. It depends on a lot, man. If you get a good main set, it's gonna perform really well. If you get a set like, for example, like Paldea Evolved, like Destined Rivals, like Evolving Skies, those are gonna do well. It all depends. There's specialty sets that are amazing for sure. Prismatic, Paldea and Fates. Paldea and Fates is good. Paladin Fates is I think Paladin Fates is more valuable because of its scarcity and not due to the depth of the set. The Bubble Mew there is a great card, of course. The Charizard is good as well, and the Gardevoir is good. But then outside of those three, that set is really top heavy. It's not like Prismatic. It's not like 151. It's not like Ascended Heroes. So each set has their thing. But I think a lot of sets can do it. Doesn't matter really to me. At least I don't see it that way. But yeah, the specialty sets as of late for sure have done incredibly well. In the past, a lot of them have done bad as well. Because before Crown Zenith, we had Darkness Ablaze, we had Shiny Fates. Um, we did have Hidden Fates, which is really good. But I mean, it all depends on how they put it together. Perfect Order gets so much say. So did Shrouded, Stellar, Journey, and look at them now. Yeah, I mean they're good. The other ones are good. I don't think Perfect Order. I don't know, man. Like I said before, there is something for everyone within each set. I've said that numerous times as well. There's always something for someone. So even I can pick out cards within Perfect Order, even though I don't like the set overall. I could pick out cards from Perfect Order that I do like. The Meowth is not bad. It is the top chase right now. But the Clefairy is really nice. I'm not remembering everything right now. I feel like my memory is shot right now. It's also because I'm getting like sleepy. Um, but I can easily pull it up. That's why TCG player is good for. Um, Had a low, right? The Meowth. I do like the Clefairy. The Dene, the Rowlet, I like as well. The Esper is nice. The Aurora is all right. Outside of that, I do like the Rosa's encouragement. The trainer card. I do like this card. I think this is a beautiful card, actually. I know people don't like trainer cards, but I think it's beautiful. Um, but yeah, within every set, there's something for someone. This card is decent, right? I don't like anything else here. I don't like this. I don't like this thing right here. Clefairy, though, I do like a lot. The Dene is nice as well. The Rowlet is nice. And then this Esper is nice as well, and the Aurorus is decent. But there's some stuff here. Everything else, all the top chases, though, all the big hitters suck. These right here, all this, even the gold, this gold looks like a spider. This thing sucks. This trainer card, I don't like it either. Um, yeah, that it's why it's just a weak set. Doesn't have too much going for it. Zeppelin, what's going on? Prismatic ETBs at 170 to 180. Ascended ETBs 150 to 160. Ascended is 170 right now, 175. And what do you think about the Mega Charizard GPC? Now, the thing about all three of those things that you mentioned there is that they all recently got manipulated. Prismatic was sitting at 160. It's now about 170 to 180. Ascended Heroes is sitting at 175 right now, and the Mega Charizard UPC, I think, is at 270 something right now. Let me just look it up real quick. Where are you? 258. It pulled back because this one got manipulated as well. So all three of those are great pickups in my opinion. They're all great to have. They all have probably great futures ahead of them. Um, priority for me would be, if you're asking in this way, Prismatic is priority for me. They rotate out next year. Ascended Heroes second to that, I would say, and then last would be the UPC. The UPC is nice. It does have some nice sets in it. It will do well. It just, if you even look at the Sword and Shield one, that thing took time to age, time to grow. And with the higher price point, it's going to take longer for it to appreciate than Prismatic and Ascended Heroes. That's what I think. I have the tool, and it's really close to the app. I use multiple tools. Okay. I'm only asking because even you could put in the information into your phone, and even your phone will just do the math for you and give you the percentage ratio, just like the app did. And I'm only curious because I feel like your eyes will be more accurate than the app. Either way, though, I would still risk it for the biscuit, like people like to say with the Sunbreon. The Lapras you showed, the multiple for a 10 is so much bigger. With the cost of grading now, I would not grade the Umbreon trainer. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that right now they're really undervalued. What I do think is a good thing to do right now is to buy them up raw. I think buying them up raw right now, and when they open up the bulk submissions, then grade them. I think honestly, I think those cards are worth grading and holding, as opposed to just instantly flipping them because they're Umbreon. I think they're worth holding. There are some fire Mimikyu cards out there, yeah, for sure. That trainer gallery one is fire. Hot tip: buy all cleans IRs and you will be rewarded. Yeah. The yellow border means Mimikyu from Cosmic is so good. People are speculating possibly the return of tag teams similar to older Mega tag teams. We'll have to see. Primal Groudon. Let's see. Rudy Short, no one getting the 30th at MSRP. That's for sure. OJ, I have an unlimited Fossil Gengar Hollow at CGC. I think you showed me that. You showed me that with a whole bunch of your submissions that you were going to send over. Pretty sick. Got the Latias at PSA right now. Mofo is 415 and a 10. Yeah, and it's freaking $19 raw. It's $19 raw. Insane. These right here is just me speculating. This is a Black Star promo with a Cosmo pattern, and it's got Latias and Latios in the card. Latios is in the back. Now, there's a Latios promo as well that has Latias in it. But just Latios and Latias are, I think, to me, are just easy plays. And so if I find promos that people aren't talking about, that people aren't even acknowledging, I will buy them. I think, let me see. eBay, purchase history. So just considering how old these promos are, right? This is the other one that's on the way. Latios, Black Star promo with Latias in the picture, right? No one talks about who. Have you guys? I'm like so confident that you guys have not seen somebody put this in these videos. Top 10 cards to buy right now before they explode. You're not seeing these cards in there. These are from Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon promo, Black Star promo. Look at the condition of this thing. Little white dot there, little speck. Oh, where are we going? Oh, it's not giving it to me. Look. Uh, what's this in a 10? SM88. Latios SM88. Let's look that up. Just out of curiosity. SM88, right? Yeah. What's this in a 10? $79? Do you know why this is $79? Because there are no freaking sold listings in recent times at all for this thing. If I grade this card and it grades a 10, I'm going to be the one determining market price for this card. As long as somebody buys the card, it will determine a market price for it. But this is how little of them there are out there. I don't know the PSA population for these. I have not looked them up. But because they're not selling, is because they're not out there. You know what I mean? So a card like this one, to me, it's crazy. Like the Latias was what? What was the Latias? 87. $473 in a 10. Most recent purchase was in 2025, September 3rd. Let's see if we can see the gem rate. Sometimes with these older ones, you see it doesn't even let you see the listing. So the listing would have showed us at least the pop report. It doesn't even show you the listing with the older ones. The older they get, they don't show the listings. Damn, I was hoping to see that. I'll have to look up the PSA pop reports, but eventually you end up becoming the person setting that market price for a card like this one with Latios and Latias in the background as well. So I'm going to have both. I have both perspectives. It would be sick to get them like sequential, right? But things that I'm just looking at, right? That I think to me in my mind are like easy plays and people don't acknowledge them whatsoever. And I love it. I love that people aren't acknowledging those cards. Then you have a card like this one, another Sun and Moon promo. This is Latios. I don't know. I definitely like to look where people aren't looking, and I go out of my way to do this. Latios 136 is this card right here. This is also a connecting art with the Latias, which I would love to get sequential as well if I could. Pretty affordable, $250 in a 10. One sale per year. The last sale was in 2023, at least recorded by this site. And once again, you're not going to see the population report. So if I were to list this card, I promise you I'm not listing it for $250. That last sale was in 2023. This card, especially if I get it sequential, yo. Oh, here's the other one. There you go. Connecting arts with the two. So I have this one on the way. I already have this one here. And these are cards that no one talks about. You know what I'm saying? It's just interesting to me. There's a lot of plays out there that people, it's one thing to find something on the internet, right? That people are talking about on YouTube, and you can find plays there. But I feel like, or I have noticed as well, that the real plays that are going to give you the best returns are the ones that people aren't talking about because they're not getting bought up like crazy. All opportunities aren't just simply gone, right? And then yeah, I think these things like this, like Sun and Moon promos and things like that, can do really, really well. I'm in Texas, so heat is normal for us, but we get gone. We gonna get much hotter. The hundreds have not come yet. Yeah, I think we had 100 today, and we're gonna have 100 again tomorrow. But if I'm correct, you guys get like good, um, you guys get like dry heat. We're getting like this incredibly sticky humidity. It's just like a nasty feeling. Black Wire, what's going on, bro? What's up, man? Thank you for stopping by. Everything is a play in a bull market. Bull, if someone puts the Michael Jordan in your face, you gotta pick Mike every time. Oh, I think you're just joining in. You're just joining in. You're seeing the beginning of the thing. I hope you don't. I hope you catch up and see that. Yeah, I hope you notice that you got to speed up to the current live. I think that's the beginning of the live. We were talking about the basketball. The only specialty set that was mid is now running is Shrouded. All the others are bangers in SV era. Yeah. Perfect Order got the cute what? Mafia. You are correct. Cute wins. Yeah, the Dene, Rowlet, Esper. Yeah, those little cards. But there's also a lot of them. It's so funny that the chat's lining up with things that I'm mentioning because I'm showing you guys some promos that no one talks about. And that's why the pop reports for these are going to be extremely low. I'm pretty confident that when I look this up on PSA, I'm going to have to do it myself. Uh, I'm not going to find, I'm going to find that there aren't that many in a PSA 10 or graded overall in comparison to every single play that you see out here, including those illustration rares from Perfect Order. My new chase is Zekrom SIR. Super nice looking card. Yeah, it is nice. I like, personally though, I like the restaurant better. I think that that white card looks so sick, man. I really do. I was in sports and speculating in Pokemon is so much less risky. Sports has to do a lot of different things though, man. The guy can get injured and they'll be gone. Uh, I'm just mainly looking to get exposure to more TCGs at the moment. Thanks for the what? I don't know what that. I don't know what you meant to write there, but it's all good. I'm just glad that Pokemon only has one type of pack. Magic the Gathering has collector packs, $700 boxes pre-order. We have several different kinds of items. The packs are all the same though, for sure. Um, the one thing that I will say is that if you have confidence in Magic, you should have confidence in Pokemon. Even though we're in this hype cycle and everything is flying, uh, Pokemon is a pretty stable IP. It's just, of course, it's the largest IP. Popularity is there. The game is amazing. The show is still going. There's so much keeping this stable and strong. So you could have a lot of confidence in Pokemon in comparison to other TCGs. Pop 9, 4.5K only on the market. I don't know which. Are you talking about the ones that I'm talking about? Let me know if that's what you're talking about. Half Hearts don't get the love they deserve. That Latias is Pop 10. A PSA 9 recently sold for 293. Are you talking about the Latias? Which one in particular are you talking about? Let me see. The SM88 is Pop 9. I was talking about that is 4.5K on eBay right now. This is what I'm saying. So because there are so little out there, so the plays that people are not talking about are the ones that usually where you win big. And just looking at cards like this, like to me, this is like an easy win right here. For me, just looking into things that people aren't talking about. These two cards right here, connecting arts with two very, very popular legendary Pokemon, and them being together because of that Latios card just makes this thing that much better. Because now when you combine these two, people are always going to remember the Lovebirds, and it's going to make these that much more popular. So I love this play, and I also loved the other one, the SM88 that Fuzzy's talking about, which is not these, but you get both perspectives. Each card has both, but each card has a perspective of the other. So it's just beautiful cards. Though I actually love these cards. I'm so glad I found them, and I found them through price charting, like I was telling Rev. Um, nope, Texas's high humidity heat index today was 102. Damn. Yeah, tomorrow it's going to be pretty hot too. We've had like a heat wave, but I've experienced heat like this in New York. It just sucks. I was addressing comments on Perfect Order. People are investing at the bottom feeders when there are actual liquid fast movers out there. There are, but a lot of times people like those easy entry point cards that they could turn and burn. A card, like when you can turn a card, a $6 card, to $130 to $140, and you can do that over and over again. Yeah, that's almost like an easy money glitch. But for sure, there are cards out there that aren't those easy money glitches, but can still do really, really well. Like I know Henry's gonna love this card right here. I don't know if you watched my last video. I don't know if you watched it, but I picked up a Chinese exclusive. I don't remember what this card is in a PSA 10, I could look it up right now, actually, now that we're here and I have price charting pulled up. Come on. I want to pull this thing out of the top loader. Actually, what am I doing? Okay. All right. Fight me. Just fight me. I don't like that top loader anyways. I'm gonna get a new one and a new sleeve. This was in the vendor's sleeve, and he had it in one of these sleeves. Like I don't even know why people use these. Like, bro, pay the 3 cents for the sleeve, please. So I think Henry would appreciate this one. It's a Chinese Pikachu exclusive. I think it's such a nice card. Like the Pikachu's in the background. Um, this card gotta be better than the Chikachu, right? It's got an actual Pikachu, not the Chikachu, sorry, the Bulbasaur promo from from the first partners. It's got a Pikachu and a Pikachu in the background, just like the Chikachu. The Chikachu has two. This one has two in the background, guys. So, and it's actually all jokes aside, it is a cute card. The tail is shaped with a heart. You have two other Pikachu's in the background. You know, like my girls saw this card and like fell in love with it right away. Let me look it up real quick. Um, I don't remember what the card was worth in a 10. 081 S. So this card is $294 in a 10. Most recently sold. Sorry, let me just show you guys because I'm on the why are you guys gonna look at my face while I'm talking? One sold on the on the 26th of May for $252. Before that, there were two other sales at $300. So right under 300. It says one sale per month. It's just averaging the recent sales, but this is all we're seeing. Whoever, I guess Fuzzy, if you looked up the pop report, could you do me a favor and look up the pop report for this card right here as well, if you can? I don't know how easy it is going to be for you to find. Pikachu number 81 SP-P. Let me know what the pop report is for that. I haven't not looked it up. I just fell in love with the card. Let's see. I have a kid that comes into my shop that wears that white wrestler man on a gold chain. His dad made for him. That's too funny. You know, but even though even though I don't like tag, I did when that card first released, I automatically pictured it in a tag slab because it's got that crystal look, and then there's like white writing on the tag slab, so it's just like white on white with glass. Like I feel like it would look nice. I really love the 10th movie promo Latios cards. I'm gonna look that one up because I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about, but I forget. Oh yeah, yeah. These are nice cards for sure. Right, like the Latios right here. Really nice card. I love this. I love it like the a lot of the silver border stuff. Japanese Latias. Oof, sick. 642. Both of them were in the 600s. Really nice cards though. I wonder how hard it would be to get these clean. Exclusive birth. You can't even really zoom in that well. $1,000 in a 10. Sick. But yeah, really cool cards. There's a lot of nice. I think Latios and Latias are just easy plays. Not easy plays, but I think it should be obvious, is what I'm saying. What I really want to say. SM80 is pop 10. Yeah, low pops, like insanely low pops. Recommendations. Got you. Thank you. Sunday and Prismatic TBs already in my cart. Damn, you waste no time. Yeah, Prismatic rotates out next year, and Ascended Heroes it's a stacked set. I'm You're getting into the Pokemon TCG now, but do you know Pokemon? I would assume you know Pokemon. Maybe you played the games growing up and stuff like that. If you do know Pokemon, you would see why people like Ascended Hero so much. It has a lot of like the popular Pokemon in there. Um, so it's easy. It's like an easy win for most people, I guess. Perfect order singles, hell yeah, the box. Yeah, the box is ass. Gengar Hollow for Chilling Rain is a perfect example of money glitches. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that Pika in Japanese. It's a female Pikachu. Um, I was hoping to see the symbol for like boy and girl, but yeah, I just from what I'm told, it's a Chinese exclusive. It could be because of the hollow pattern is different or whatever it is, but still. Well, you're definitely getting a new subscriber, man. Thanks for the live. Take care. It's getting late. Yeah, man. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed, man. Come back anytime, brother. PSA 10 2021 Pikachu, Pokemon Pikachu promo. Pop 112. That's not bad either. That is not bad either. 112 at 132. Yeah, the quality control looks like it's like this card looks perfect. Those 10th movie promos used to be prominent back in the day, but good quality ones are tough to find. Yeah, I bet. Unified Minds. What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? Long time no see. How you doing, brother? How you doing? Yeah, a lot of those old promos, they're like hard to find as much as you want to find them in good condition. It's tough. And then I feel like a lot of people that the people that do own those good condition cards already have connections with other people and they sell to them directly. They don't list them on eBay. It's hard to find. I was at this last card show and this guy had like a silver border master set for 85,000 within a case. They look beautiful and they look like they were in really good condition, but to find them in that condition these days is incredibly hard. So but all right, guys, I think I'm going to be calling it. I have been streaming for exactly 3 hours and 1 minute. It's been a good while. It was fun. It was a fun one, though. I should be back streaming again this Sunday. I'm trying to keep it up. I'm trying to keep doing Sundays, Thursdays, and Sundays, unless I go to a card show, which means that I won't be here on Sunday. Um, Fuzzy, thank you for your help, man. Thank you for your help. Pikachu 124 SP in Japanese. I wonder if the hollow pattern is different there. But I do love that Pikachu. What? What did I just do? Oh. Jay and Discord family will be gone for a bit. Wife's mother passed and we'll be eulogizing her on Saturday. Enjoy life, guys. Pokemon is awesome. Tonight has been therapeutic for me tonight. Hey, Rev, take it easy, bro. We'll always be here, man. So come back when you're good and when things have subsided. And when you're feeling better, your family's feeling better. I wish you guys the best, man. So take it easy. We're just a message away. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, take care. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. Uh, Let us know what's going on. Yeah, not hollow. The Japanese one is not hollow. There you go. That's what it's got to be. Have a good one, brother. Look forward to Sunday. Yeah, I'll be here, man. Not that hollow. Oh, it's a different hollow. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why it was exclusive to in that way, I guess. Have a good night. Yeah, Blackwire, I'm sorry you got here late. And Mimes, you got here really late as well. I apologize, guys, but I have been live for over 3 hours now. Cash me out. Have a good night, brother. Thank you for being here. We did talk a lot about the 30th, different opinions. Mostly the 30th, honestly. Sets, the values, what they're gonna be. It was a lot of conversation about like the price points, whether it's worth buying at these price points. Of course, the 30th has a lot of nice things in it, has a lot of crappy things in it as well, but it doesn't change the fact that they're gonna be really valuable. Um, but my part of the discussion was a lot of just kind of talking about the realization of buying a UPC at $500 to $600, what it's going to take for that to actually appreciate buying at that price point when MSRP is 200. I think that once you buy it, that thing is going to be flat for a little while and you're going to be holding for a long time. That's what I think, at least. I could be 100% wrong. It could go from 500 to 1,000 in a matter of months. But I think that it's going to sit at those really high price points for a good while and then be flat. That was really the discussion with a lot of different, but there was a lot more than just that. If you want to go back and rewatch the live, you're very welcome to. I apologize that I'm getting off, but I have been here 3 hours and I am starting. I'm like feeling the tiredness, like as I'm talking, as I'm trying to remember cards and set that I usually have like memorized because I look at this stuff all the time. I'm like not remembering anything. But yeah, man. Thank you for stopping by. Anyways, yeah, Blackwire, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. I'm assuming Henry was Henry live tonight? I wouldn't even know because I'm live clearly. But thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. Godspeed, Rev. Sorry for your loss. Life is precious. That's why call the president a gift. Yeah, that's why that there's been guys. I guess coincidentally, there have been several guys that have approached me with like things that they're dealing with, like uh, mental issues, like depression, like stress. I've had like three people reach out to me. One came and said something open into Discord. One reached out to me through Instagram, things like that. And sometimes, the guy, for example, the guy in the Discord didn't want to make the Discord awkward. And as I said to him, and I'll say to anyone else, there are many things in life that are much more important than Pokemon. Your mental status, your family situation, all that stuff is much more important than anything here. So I wish everybody the best. Rev, of course, I wish your family the best. It does suck. I did lose my brother in February, so that's still really fresh for me. Um, yeah, I hope your family the best, man. But if you ever want to reach out and just chat, you know, and just talk random stuff, I'm here. You know that already. Um, Parting gift, look up Wellmore 45 for the goofiest art ever. Wife found it today. I'll look that up just to close out the stream. Let's see. From Cosmic. Is this a Komiya? Oh, it is. Yo, Blackwire, you gotta tell Henry he's gonna give me some points. He's gonna give me some points now. He gotta put me on the board because I'm starting to recognize this person's art. Oh, and the reason what's getting me recognized to this person's art, that I did pick up some vending series cards, and of course the arts are very, very similar to each other, and so I knew that they were the Komiya cards. But yeah, uh, that card, same exact art style as these cards right here from vending series. So I saw that before I could see the name. I I knew who it was. Let hate them damn cards. You know what's funny? My fiance felt the same exact way. She looked at these cards and she was like, "Why did you buy them?" She was like, "I don't like them," and I was like, "Yeah, but it." Well, the vending series ones are just older cards. It's for me, it's nice to have in the collection. Um, but I just pointed out to her that just like art that we see throughout the world, um, you have artists. These are actual artists that draw these Pokemon cards, and so they have this character to these cards, and everybody can tell who's drawing these cards. Just like I was able to tell that was Komiya as well. Um, but yeah, man, let Henry. I deserve some points. Let him know I deserve some points. Um, but yeah, guys. With that being said, I'm telling you guys, I'm feeling it. I wish I could go longer, but I'm tired, and I'm actually off tomorrow. But like I'm like holding back as I'm talking. I'm holding back yawns for how tired I am. I wish I could stay longer, but yeah, guys, it was fun anyways. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you want to join the Discord, you're very free to do so. Of course, we talk about investing in there and singles, sealed items, but we also just talk there as well. So if you guys want to hang out, you're very welcome. I got a great community in there, a very respectful community, and a very helpful community in there as well. Yeah, and like the video, of course, or like the live if you can. But yeah, guys, with that being said, thank you for being here. Take care out there. Peace.